Live. So I am hey. Hi everybody. No, wrong camera. Hi everybody. All right, so I started packing up the stuff to go back for to be an H for the Lumix, the 9mm lens, and the 100 to 300mm lens. Now today is Good Friday for the Greek Orthodox Christians, so I went to church, but I didn't go physically. I watch it online, and it's actually still going on. So I kind of came in a little on the late side, 2 minutes late. I'll survive. Okay, so I did invite Carlos, Carlos, Sammy's friend Carlos, Sly. I sent them the invitation. So if anybody wants, if any of them are going to come in, I'll just pop them in on the screen. And if anybody wants to pop in and say hello for next week, then just let me know during this week, because I'm trying to keep a list of some sort. Organization is really, really a tough thing. So the Greek Orthodox are on the Julian calendar instead of on the Gregorian calendar. So, and they also go with the Jewish Passover, because they go by there's scriptures that say when the Passover was done, or when it was at the beginning, or on that day. And thus that has become a big to-do all by itself, because did Jesus die on Good Friday? Did Jesus die on Thursday? Did Jesus die on Wednesday? Because there's all kinds of talks that were given in terms of things that he said he needs to be in the earth, in the grave, 3 days and 3 nights. Well, 3 days and 3 nights, if you got Friday, Saturday, and he rose at Sunday in the middle of the night, how does that fit into 3 days and 3 nights? And thus begins the conversation, okay? So I stand on the fact that Jesus did the Last Supper with the Jewish Passover Last Supper on Wednesday night, which was not a Passover meal technically, okay? And so that comes from Matthew and Mark, which said it was a Passover meal, but St. John never said it was a Passover meal, so it goes up in the air. So looking at the calendars, at the Jewish traditions, and what goes on, it becomes, quite a little study. So I'm of the thinking that whether you're celebrating the quote-unquote American Easter or quote-unquote Greek Easter, okay, that Jesus did the Passover or the Last Supper meal on Wednesday night, was arrested on later that night, and was crucified on Thursday and died on Thursday. Now, the traditional Christian schedule is that Jesus died on Friday and was resurrected before sunrise on Sunday. Okay? So it's 2024 years later, so I don't think any of us can go back and find out. So all it is now is a really good conversation, and that's about it. All right. So I did invite some guests. They'll pop in, and when I want to bring them in, I'll just move them over into the window that we're watching. In the meantime, we do have some people here. Charles is here, and he's saying a good evening, Greggies, and happy Easter. Scott is here, and he is saying hello to Mabel. Mabel, seriously? You're trying to get... Okay, he's supposed to be a good boy. Where's the food? Hello, Scotty. I'm going to get on your mom, and she's going to get on your case, because your mom knows how to keep you in line. That much I know for sure. All right, Norm is here. Merry Christmas, Peter. Good evening, Greggies around the world. Now, Norm is Jewish. So when I'm talking about these faiths, this calendars and stuff, he knows what I'm talking about, okay? So that makes it more comforting to me, that there's people that know what they're talking about. So you'll hear that noise as people are coming into my, what they call the green room. and then I'll bring a person in, as we get rolling. So today I did a Patreon video for the Patreon channel, and it was basically, I just had to get it in one last vlog in with the G9 Mark II, which is this guy right here. If I turn him around, I really like this camera a lot. I like how it makes me look and stuff like that. So if you're on the Patreon channel, there is a whatchamacallit, there's a video there for you guys, because I do a video, I call it almost every day, because I don't do it every day. Sometimes I might not feel well, or I might not be in, or something, so I call it almost every day. But I did get one up there today, and I did get one up quite a few days this week. So as I said in the Patreon video, we got people going all over the place. Jim is flying somewhere, and I don't remember where. I could look it up, but I'm not going to look it up right now. And Sammy and his group of friends are finishing up college, so they're packing up and moving back into their house from the dorm. And I remember when I was in college, when you finished the college year at the end of the semester, it was pretty cool, to be honest with you. You had some celebrations, and if you had made some good friends, you'll see them during the summer. So Sammy is out and about right now. I know that because he told me he's out. Do you know what he's out with? I'll tell you what he's out with. Sammy is out with the Cybertruck, the Tesla Cybertruck. So I get inside information on that because I know Sammy, okay? So, and Sly is heading on for a trip to Las Vegas, but I think she's home tonight, so she'll be popping in when I finish this little introductory area. Oh, and I need you guys to help me. I've got the headphones ready, the earbuds, because I should be able to turn on the feedback or the non-feedback stuff. And if it's not working, I'll just pop in the earbuds. You'll just have to, somebody will have to tell me, it's not working, Peter, put in the earbuds. Now, be kind, okay, and be accurate so that this way, we know what's going on. So I'm kind of counting on you to be my eyes and my ears and stuff like that. So I think I do have an interview window. There it is. And it says to play the ringtone, which that's fine. You guys can hear it when it happens. But I don't see the thing to turn on the suppression. So if it's not going to work, then you guys are going to have to let me know. And I'll just walk over there and I'll plug these in because they're not plugged in right now. Actually, there's oh yeah, there is a reason. I was going to say, there's no reason I can't plug them in now, because when any of our guests talk, they'll be able to come in. So I started to pack this up. This is what happened for my day. I started to pack the camera up, and I got the box right here, and this is the box for the camera, and I have a box for the little 9mm lens, which is terrific. Okay. So what are we watching now? We're watching Randy's camera, and that's the Nikon ZF, which is a nice camera. And that sign looks a little bit big, doesn't it? Does the sign look a little big to you? Let's see. Let's move it out here, and let's make it a little bit smaller. I guess we're not going to make it a little bit smaller. Oh, yeah, we are. Okay, I'm making it a little bit smaller. I don't think it should be bigger than my head. Okay, so it's snapping into place. All right, so we're on a Nikon right now with Randy's 85mm lens. All right, so this is the lens box. I've got to put this lens in this box with the caps. Then I've got to put this lens in its own box. And yes, I do have the 100 to 300 box, and I'll pack that up. And then I've got to put the camera into its own box, which is this guy right here without the glare. Okay, see where it says G9 Mark II? All right, then I'll pack that up, and that's going to go over to FedEx. And I'll take that over to FedEx. So I started to do that this afternoon. I was up quite late last night, so I got up a little on the late side. And I started to package everything up, and I said, darn, let's do one more because I kind of like the way this camera works. So let's check and make sure. I don't have a card in here because I don't want to send the card to B&H because they will send it back, but it could take quite a bit of time. And Randy just sent me a couple of E90 cards. So I was going to start packaging these up, but then I remembered, oh, wait, there's an Easter service for me tonight, the Good Friday, and that's when they celebrate the death of Jesus. So meantime, we've got Norman here. And Randy said, I thought you weren't streaming tonight. Yeah, I'm going to stream. Well, I am streaming tonight. Well, if I stayed with the church service, I would have stayed with it. But then I realized I could do the stream. It's mostly over, but not completely. If you look at the Holy Trinity Church Cathedral in New York City, you can actually see the service as it's going on live. So what they do is they take like something that resembles, they call it the epitaphio. It's kind of like the structure where Jesus is buried in. They make it full of flowers, and it's very exorbitant looking. And then they take that, and they on some churches they walk around the inside of the church with the body of Jesus in there. On some churches they actually go outside and they walk around the whole block. They get police to help them and stuff like that. And I don't know, the way things are these days, I think it's more dangerous. Okay, so just thinking. So now when I'm not streaming is Sunday, because Sunday will be Easter Sunday. Actually, the Easter service will be tomorrow night for me at midnight, at 12 midnight. Everybody gets a candle, and you light your candle, and after you light the candle, at 12 midnight, the service starts. You sing Christos anesti ek nekron. And the whole church and the choir and the priest, they all sing it. And then all the lights get turned off. The electricity, well, not the electricity, but they turn off the lights. And then the light comes from the altar, which is the new light of Christ. It's supposed to be representing that, all right? And then the priest will turn around and he will light a couple of the altar boys their candles. There'll be maybe a few altar boys that'll be standing in front. And then the altar boys go out amongst the congregation and they spread the light. And that's the light of the resurrection of Christ. It's really a pretty service, you know. I should record it one day, but it's on TV and it's on YouTube, and they even do it over in Greece. So tomorrow night will be the resurrection service, and that'll be at midnight, and it goes on for me till 2. So I'll wake up on Sunday kind of late, and then we'll go to my brother's house and go to there for the Easter Sunday dinner, okay? So Jim is saying, good evening, Peter. Happy Friday. Thank you, Jim. I guess you must be on the ground because you wrote to me a little while ago and you were going into the, whatchamacallit, the plane. So Scotty, pizza for everybody. And yeah, I will have the pizza too. Scotty, you can keep your radishes. You can send them over to your mother. This way she can clobber you over the head with them. I will eat the pizza, but not the bread. So I'll eat the pizza with like a fork or a spoon because I can eat the cheese, I can eat the meat, I can eat the tomatoes, I can eat the tomato sauce. Not too much of it. I bet you it's got some sugar content in there. So I'll be having the pizza with you guys. So Jim says, oh, he's back. that was a very fast flight. Golly gee whiz. Do you want to come on tonight, Jim? If you do, I'll send you the link if I could find where you are. There's Jim Mundy. Let's see. Can I paste and send here? Yeah, I'm just sending you the invitation. You don't have to come. You might not be dressed. That's fine. There's no pressure tonight. It's kind of laid back. I just came from the church service. And so look in your text, and I just sent you a text. So if you do want to come on and say hi tonight, I've invited Carlos, our Carlos, the Daily Man, and I've invited Carlos, Sammy's friend. He was on, was it last week or 2 weeks ago? Okay. And I've invited Sly. And, I should invite Randy. Randy, do you want to come in and say hi? There's no pressure on anything tonight. It's up to you. Anybody that wants to be, that I've sent the invitation to, if you want to come on, just come and sit in the green room, okay? So that means you're going to log in, get yourself prepared, and then when I want to bring you in, I've got the controls, baby, so I can bring you in, whenever I want. So now I'm looking for Randy's connection. Where is Randy? Oh, there he is. Okay, right up there near the top. I talk to Randy quite often. So I will send you the link, Randy. You could take it or leave it. There's no pressure here for anybody that I sent you the link for tonight's show. So I sent it by text. So if you actually want to come in. You'll come in a little window on the side, and when I want to bring you over, I will bring you over. So now I've given a few invitations. Sly says she's probably going to come in. She was here, but then she dropped. I guess, I don't know if she's got her mountain man with her tonight, her grandson, or not. I guess we'll find out if she comes back in. So Jim said he is back from Scottsdale. Roy, do you want to come on? I don't know how you're feeling, buddy. All right, big guy, that's up to you. If you do want to come in, then just say hello. I'll send you the invitation. Sammy says hi, everybody. Tonight I was filming the Cybertruck. So anybody that is going to come in, you got to come into the green room. You got to click the link and turn off the stream and watch it through the link that I sent you. And if we get too much feedback, I'll have to put these on. So you guys will tell me, Norm, Scott, Roy, and then I'll pop these on. But if it works without me having to put this in, these kind of hurt my ears. So I'm not looking forward to putting them in. They're just earbuds. They're nothing special, okay? But I got them ready. So the only thing that I will have to do is I'll have to step out of the picture for a second and go plug in the earbuds, because right now they're not plugged in, okay? So Sammy was filming the Cybertruck. Sly is saying hi, happy Friday, everybody. And Roy is saying good day, good day, good day, good day. Roy, it's good to see you up and about. You know, a lot of us guys, we did pray for you, okay? I know I prayed for you a lot. Got it. Finishing my expenses, and we'll join in a bit if you are still going. Excellent. That's the kind of answer I want. No pressure. I'm not trying to force anybody to come in. It just feels good to get a couple of people in here and say hello. So schedule yourselves for the second half of the show. So that'll be kind of like at 10:30, and that'll let me finish what I'm talking about now. And I did want to find the body cap for the G9, because I don't like to take a lens off. I know the mic is over there. I don't like to take a lens off and just let the camera sit around. So let me find the body cap real quick, because that's the way I set it up. I found it. Here's the body cap. All right, so I'm going to take the body cap off. I'm going to take the body cap out of its bag, and I'm going to take the lens. I'm still getting over that cold, guys. So Sammy says he's about to go into bed, so he won't be coming on. But you're very, very welcome to come on, Sammy. You know that. You're my buddy. You're my big boy. All right, so I took the lens off. Now I'm going to take the body cap. I'm going to put the body cap on here. So what is a little bit of a something that I'm tossing, would I rather have the G9 or the S5 Mark II? The G9 Mark II or the S5 Mark II? That's a loaded question, because I'm not quite so sure. I should go with the full frame. Anybody in his right mind would go with the full frame, right? So let me make sure this is all dusted and looking all pretty. And let's put this in its little satchel. Comes with a little white. It feels like it's like a waterproof for moisture resistant. So I'm putting that the way it came. I don't know what they do with these cameras. I don't know if they just sell them as brand new after I've used them for 2 or 3 weeks. That's an interesting concept, right? So now I'm going to put this in here, and it came with a strap, which I didn't open up the strap, okay? So I'm putting the camera in its slot, and that's not fitting in the way I want. That's better. Okay. I guess it's got to sit in just so, okay? Now, I'm not going to box all this stuff up tonight, but I wanted you guys to know that I was getting ready and boxing it up. And the battery's got to go in the box. This lens is going in this box. And let's put it over here. And this lens is going in its own box, which is over there. All right. So, Sammy says he's going to bed. He's a busy boy. Just go with the ZVE1. Yeah. I don't know why the ZVE1 is not on right now. I got the Nikon ZF. Can I put the ZVE1 on? I think I can. I think if I push this button, it'll be surprise. It's the E10. Okay. Let's see. Can I find the E1? There it is. That's the E1. Doesn't she look pretty? They all look so good. All right, I put it on for the timers. You guys can see the timer. If I step over here and I stick my finger out, that little thing that is not identified is the actual timer. So when that actually goes down to 0, we'll switch over. Okay, so we are at what time? We are at 10:23. All right, so if you guys want to come in, now is the time to start coming in, and I'll start popping you up, and we can have a conversation. So for the first few minutes, yeah, Randy says make sure the SD cards, #1, and the battery is out of the camera, not even before shipping, before I even close up the box, okay? So that becomes kind of important. So let's see what else. All right, that's what I've got going. Now, what camera am I going to... I was going to ask for the Pocket, the Osmo Pocket 3. Okay, so... But it's out of stock. So I'm not sure what to grab at this point. So, all right, that's what we'll find out what's going on. All right, so Sly has rung in. So when she gets herself ready, I will pop her up on the screen. Oh, she just popped off. So there might be a connection issue going on with her. So Sly, there, you came in, but then it dropped out. So I don't think it's me. Let me check my connection. My connection looks solid. Okay. Oh, okay, so she's back in. All right, so if we can keep her in here. Sammy says the Pocket 3 is in stock again. Yay! I want to get the Pocket 3 that's got the microphone that comes with it. So check on that, Sammy. It's $669 versus the $500 and something version. So I guess we'll do the testing with Sly. So let me go up to the correct window here. I think it's this one. Okay, so all right, so that is the ZVE1, which is it the ZVE1? I'm pointing to that. I thought it was the ZF. No, it is the ZVE1. All right, so if I stand over here a little bit more, then I can put Sly in on the right side of me. So let's put her in. And now you can see her. Now she's going to get herself set up. It takes a couple of minutes because I've gone through this myself. So it takes a couple of minutes for her to get set up. But I do hear you, Sly. You're coming in through. So now when Sly starts to talk, okay, you guys tell me if I have to put the earbuds on or not, okay? So how can you tell? If it sounds echoey, I need to put these guys on, okay? I better look into the right camera. All right. If it sounds okay, then I don't have to put it on. And that is basically the name of that tune. Okay. So Sly, you can say how long time you want. You can do a mic test. Let's see if your sound is coming through. Boy, that's great sound. That hand wave was excellent. What great sound Sly has. Okay, go.
Yeah, I think it should be coming through okay.
Okay, so you guys, if you heard an echo there, tell me right away, and I will put these in, and I'll plug them in, and Sly can just talk to you while I go plug. It's over there against the wall. Okay? If
Yes,
I
I hear
don't
an
have
echo.
to use them, you do hear an echo, Sly? You do hear an echo? Are you going to
Yes.
force me to go put the earbuds on? Oh my God! This woman is rough. Oh dear Lord Jesus. Oh, I better not do that. It's Good Friday. I have to behave it sometimes, right? All right, so I'll get these prepared. I'll put it behind me. I'll hang them over here. All right, so let's put this in. All right, Sly, do you have the mountain man with you tonight? The little buddy? I don't see him.
Yes.
Don't forget, we're trimmed over here.
Oh,
Because-
yes, he's right behind me.
Cool. Does he want to say hi or not really? Don't interrupt his flow.
Don't interrupt his flow.
Okay. That's spoken like a true grandmother. Leave him be. Okay?
Yes.
All right. So let me go. Sly, you talk for a second. I got to go plug this guy in. Okay? It only take me
Okay.
15 seconds. As a matter of fact, I got some power here. I can make Sly big. I can make her really big. There she is. Now it feels like the old Friday night, right?
Now you can see him. Yeah, now you can see him. He's got the headphones on, so y'all don't have to hear. What is he watching? Sonic or something? But yeah, so I'm trying to get packed, trying to decide what to take, what to leave, and so Jim, you might have to help me with this one a little bit because I feel like I'm packing everything but the kitchen sink, and I don't want to take that much. So I just kind of want to try to call it down a little bit, but yeah, so I'm going to need some expert advice from someone who flies a lot.
Mr. Flies a lot.
Mr. Flies a lot. Yes. That's what we're going to call Jim.
Mr. Flies a lot. Well, he's always going somewhere. Okay, I put these on, so you guys should be hearing no echo from me. Sly, you're all buttoned down over there too? You're not running the stream in the background. Okay, good. So you guys should be not hearing any feedback at all now. Okay, so
Randy, which other mic do you want me to turn off?
turn off your other mic, Sly. Make sure there's no other little secret window open.
Well,
okay.
when I hit the Google thing, it hung up last time.
Oh, is that what happened?
That's why I keep going. That's why I keep going in and out, because I'm trying to get everything turned off to the side.
Okay, Randy says there's no echo, so we're cool. Randy can tell us right off the bat. I mean, he does this himself. Okay, Randy, I did send you an invitation. If you want to pop in, buddy, it's up to you. There's no pressure tonight. This is a very leisurely. Well, every one of my nights are leisurely. What can I tell you? But I mean, I don't put anybody under any pressure, except Jim. Jim, go turn your camera on. You're coming in to say hello. No, he's doing some expenses, because when he takes a trip, he itemizes his expenses, because it's part of becomes part of his taxes, right, Sly? You just did that yourself, didn't you?
Yeah, it didn't work so well with me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I ended up having to pay quite a bit, so I'm going to have to get a little better at saving receipts.
Okay, so Randy's not coming in because he doesn't want to shave. Okay. now
We don't care,
this feels. We don't care, but look at me. I'm so sensitive with my hair, with my teeth, which are, and then I got the old man dots on my face. So I'm just a walking mess. But hey, everybody's got their own quirks. What can I tell you?
Yes.
So that is what we got going on. Now, I'm kind of curious if I can change the size of Sly. I don't know if I can or if I
Can you make me
can't.
thinner?
Not on this
About
program.
about 15 pounds.
Not on this program, but on
Oh,
the
okay.
what program can I do that? Luminar AI. You can actually suck in a person's face, and you can now they've added you can suck in a person's body. So I can make Sly bigger. Look
Okay.
at that. She's getting bigger as we speak. You're gonna have to go on a diet, Sly. There we go. All
Yeah.
right. So
Yeah.
now
You
I
need
got
to
her.
scoot me
Oh, and
back where I'm the same size as you are.
if I do that, you're too low. Watch. Look. Okay. So now you're the same size, but
Okay.
it's like, see how much is above your head? No, don't do that. You're gonna be uncomfortable for the rest of the night. So you can. Are you running
Okay.
through Ecamm? I forgot which camera I'm on. I'm
Yes.
on that. All right. If you're
Yes.
running through Ecamm, zoom yourself a little bit. Or move your own spot just for tonight, and then remember what you did, so you can put it back again.
Okay. What one do I do that under? Because you
What?
did that the other night, and I'm like, how do I do that?
All right. What's the source that you're looking at now, where all your cameras are coming into one window?
Yeah, I just have one on.
Okay. So look at the one that looks like a magic wand. It's one, two, three, the fourth one from the top on the right.
Fourth one down.
Yeah.
Okay.
Click on that, and you'll get a zoom button. And are you zoomed at all? Is it checked on or it's not checked on?
It's not checked on.
All right, so if you check it on, you can zoom it in. Now stop, too much. I did that already. Okay, now back up a little bit. Now, see the window underneath where you're zooming? You can move that
Yeah.
around a
Yeah.
little bit. It doesn't give you a lot of leeway there, but that's what you can do. So we'll see Sly start to move around. The window underneath your zoom button will allow you to move yourself. Now, if you don't want to do that, I'll just do it for you. So if you don't want to set it up and then you go like, oh, I don't want to mess up my system, just put it back to flat, and I'll take care of it for you.
No.
But it looks great
No.
right there.
I'm fine, but how do I get it to pan
See the
down a little bit?
okay. See the box that's showing your face. Put your mouse in
Yes.
there, and you can move it left, right, up, down. Grab,
Oh.
drag. Okay. There you go. There you go. So now you can center yourself, but you can only do that while you're zoomed a little bit. If you're not zoomed a little bit, you got nowhere to go. Okay. But if
Right.
you are
Right.
zoomed a little
Okay.
bit, you can. All right.
Okay. So are we about? Yeah, that doesn't look too bad. Now you look
Yeah.
smaller than me.
Yeah, but I'm not changing that. It's because it's set up for. I kind of like a little space. I can
Okay.
change that very easily. I can make myself. I could do anything you can do better. I can do anything better than you. No, you can't. Yes, I can. No, you can't. Yes, I can. Okay, so I can zoom me in, and after I zoom me in, I can move me around. And I'm as big as Sly now. Look at that.
There
Okay.
you go.
So I did the
So
same
if
thing
if
you
you
just
were
did. Okay.
yeah, if you were gonna put this like Lewis does for
Yeah.
Doc Rock and that other lady,
A lot of
he
people.
tries to get the people exactly the same size.
Yes. Yeah, I would probably
Yes.
do that too. But, I got to be a little
So which
different. So I think
way?
I'll set
No,
myself
this
up in
way.
a
Okay.
Christmas room. I'll look like Santa Claus. And yeah, I'm a little different now. You look good tonight. So you did get the mountain man with you? I know you call him little man,
Yes.
but I mean he's too hefty to be called little man. He is a mountain man. He's
He's
a small version of a mountain man.
There's a zombie.
yes, he's back there. He now understand I have headphones in, so he can't hear you.
Oh, okay. Anytime
Yeah.
you want, I've got the little dog, so I can entertain him with that. It's within arm's reach right here. So you just tell me. I
It
don't want to take him away from his game, to be honest with you. Let him
well
play if
that
he's happy.
and the bleed. If I turn the speakers on, the echo is horrendous.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So you got an amber. That's if you guys have never experienced an amber alert when a child is stolen or something, they ring everybody's phone full blast, just like that. Okay. And you
Yes.
got to look and see, and they tell you 400 miles away a child was stolen, so be on the lookout for a red Toyota Corolla. But if it's in your
Right.
area, then I think we probably should pay attention. But
In your living room. Yes.
yeah, right. All right, now I think they
That
do more than
Toyota comes
just
through your living room.
if it comes through your living room, you've got big problems.
You
So
got
I
more
forgot what I was going to
problems
say.
than that.
Oh, they got silver alerts now too. If you lose an elderly person, they will
Yes.
do that same thing. That shocked me. That was pretty cool. Scotty says, "Entertain me with the dog, Peter."
With the
Well, I would,
dog.
Scotty, but I'm not doing it because I don't want to get our mountain man's attention. She's got her hands full, so I'm being
Yeah,
respectful
like I
to
said,
Sly's wishes, right?
and I don't know how long I'll be able to stay on because
Yeah,
when he
well,
gets bored with that, then yeah. So
I think I'm
believe
learning how to handle a live stream now. I've been practicing a little bit, so I think I could do a live stream. I don't know
I
how I
think
would make.
it's what 13 or 14 years. So you should be
Yeah, it
getting pretty
takes
good
me a
at
little
it.
while. It takes me a little while. I've got to get in there. So we're not hearing no echo, right, Randy, Scotty, Sammy, anybody else that's out there? Jim?
I don't hear any echo.
Well, I don't either. It's in my ears. Okay, so
But last week I was getting from the show and
Purple.
from here, so I was getting a delayed sound. But that's not
yeah,
happening this week.
you
So
actually
yeah.
had a hidden window running, right?
Yes.
Okay, so that's what was
Yes.
going on there. How is your good friend Eleanor? Ah, she's wonderful. You got a thing about you. I just can't live without you. I really want you, Eleanor, near me. Okay, so I've been practicing that song and I'm getting ready to actually record it with audio and visual.
Do
So
you have crisp on?
no, I don't have crisp here. I don't think, but no, it's not on.
Okay.
Why? Why you say such a thing? I do have everything off except the one fan that's blowing on me. Oh, the air conditioner's on, but I got these on. I can't hear if it's running or not. Okay, so
No,
Randy.
when you were singing, the reverb
Oh,
it would start and then it would cut out. So I was wondering if
oh, I
Chris
bet
was
the.
cutting
Okay,
that
you know what
out.
that means? I could tell you exactly. There is echo cancellation on an Ecamm right now. Apparently, it's on and I didn't realize it. Okay,
Okay.
and it basically mutes the whatchamacallit,
The
the
reverb.
reverb. Good. I'm glad. I completely forgot about that. So Jim is joining in now. Uh, I don't know if the turtles are still alive anymore, Scott. So I'm going to stay with the live group: Peter, Sly, and Jim, and Carlos, and whoever else is coming in, and Randy. So we'll stay with them, and we'll just call
The
ourselves
family.
the family.
The
We're the
family.
Oh, you are. It's dangerous when the family comes after you. So
That's
Jim, you getting
right.
yourself set up, buddy? I could see him in there. Okay, so I'll bring him in when he. Oh, he's giving me a thumbs up. All right, so let's bring him in to the right. So it'll be boy, girl, boy, girl. There's Jim.
Here I am.
There he is.
Hey,
I
Jim.
did.
Hey there.
Everybody say hi to Jim. There's Jim.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening, Sly. Good evening, Peter.
Okay, I got a
So, do
question.
you have jet
Didn't you
lag,
just
Jim?
Little bit.
text me that you were flying to someplace, or were you flying from someplace?
No, I was getting on the plane coming from Scottsdale,
Ah,
Arizona, from Phoenix.
okay. So you were
Yeah.
coming home. I thought you were heading out. So you'll be here uh, for the weekend then.
Yeah, I'm home until I don't know. I think I'm here next week, and then the following week I'm in Philly, and then I'm here a
Oh.
week, and then I'm in Tampa, and then that's it for. Then May will be over, and I'm pretty much off in June.
So when are you coming to see me?
I
I thought
thought
he was
about
gonna.
extending my Tampa trip, right, and maybe
That's
coming
about
down,
6 hours. Yeah, that's
but
about
yeah,
6 hours away.
it's a little crazy. So we'll definitely get down there again, though. And Sly, I was just looking through my travels. So I started off the month of April in Vegas, and so yeah, but I don't travel with uh, all the things you need to take in terms of the little man. I'm able to, for the most part, get my uh, 3 maybe 4 days into a little rolling suitcase um, without even having to check it. But if it goes much past that, I have to check. Although this trip we did a big class, and a lot of the vendors gave us presents to bring home, and so I barely got them all in the bag this trip.
Are you in the
So
habit of always looking for like the UPS store in case you need it?
If it got bad, the team that travels with us, they would ship the stuff for me.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
so little man's not going with me, but I will be gone 7 days.
Oh,
So
yeah,
I
that
feel
would be.
like
I'd
I'm
have to check for
taking
that. I'd have to check for that. Yep.
I've got a big check bag. I can take a carry-on and a personal item.
Yep.
So, but I feel like I'm taking everything and I don't know that I'm going to need that much stuff. So,
With
yeah.
this trip, my backpack, my back was hurting, and I realized I had my work computer, my personal Mac, and then I just got a remarkable tablet. I don't know if you've seen that, where you can write on it. It's just pretty darn close to writing on paper, but it's all
Mhm.
electronic, and it'll convert it. Don't look at this mess back here and over here. They put new windows in while I was gone, so I had to move everything. So the place is a mess. But so basically had three computers in the bag, and it was a little much this time, and it barely fit under the seat this time because my backpack was so stuffed full.
So do you take a camera bag or do you take a camera and do you take a camera bag or a regular backpack?
If I take a camera, I take my um, oh geez, what's the brand? Peak Design sling. I think the 6, not the 9, and I'm able to get my uh, Sony Alpha in there and one lens, but that's it. It's full, and then I actually put that in my backpack if I can, because at some point, if I'm doing a wheelie bag and a backpack, then that sling bag they'll say no, no go. You can only have two things to get on the plane with. So, and that
Well,
usually works out pretty well.
so that
But
was
I've seen
another
all the stuff you
question.
take, and I don't take a full camera bag because if I checked a bag, I could, but I don't normally check a bag.
Okay, so they have said that if you wear a sling bag around your waist, that it counts like a coat. It doesn't
You
count as an
probably
extra item. But
That's
if you
probably a good
wear it
point.
across your chest, it
Yeah,
counts as an extra item, like a
yeah,
backpack.
because they're actually calling out, like today when we were waiting to get on. They made an announcement and said basically, because they've been saying, remember you're limited to a carry on and a personal item, and if you have more than that, you need to consolidate. So they have been getting really strict. And then I was on a real small jet coming from, where's it, Detroit to here this afternoon, and I got on a little bit late, and so I had to take my bag to the back of the plane, put it in the overhead, try to make my way back. It was a mess. I was exhausted by the time I got home.
Well, that's
Yeah.
I'm trying to cull it down, so
So,
we'll
are
see.
you going with friends, or is this
No, I'm going out to see a friend.
neat? Neat.
Yeah.
I really enjoy, and boy, I'll tell you, Scottsdale was just gorgeous. Scottsdale, Arizona. So I didn't get
I
much time
really
out. We did walk around in the little downtown area, and it was really nice.
Yeah, I don't like
What
to
was the
fly.
weather out? What was the weather out there? because they were getting snow late in the year in Colorado. So Arizona is out in that
Yeah,
neighborhood.
it was. The nights are cool, but the days were in the 90s. But then, like by the time we'd go from dinner to walk, we were in a beautiful resort, and right on a golf course, and then you could walk into sort of the downtown. Um, what was it called? Um, the Kierland area. Just it has all the high end shops and really nice restaurants. So that and it was just beautiful for that walk. It was nice. And our breakfast we had out in the patio before it got real hot. So we do good when we're entertaining our partners when we do these events. So we do it up nice.
That sounds good. That picture that you sent me had a lot of people in it. All those people work for the same company?
Yep.
Wow, that's quite a good sized team.
Yeah, that's the production team basically. That's the people that are on stage like myself and the my counterpart that was former FBI, and then you've got all the people that do the production, and you've got all the people that manage the suppliers who help pay for it, right? But those are all employees of the company.
So what's the hot thing on the chatterbox? What company has gotten hit lately in a big way that you can actually say their name? I mean, some of it is private, I know.
Yeah, no, and I wouldn't disclose if anybody that we work directly, but the biggest one that's been in the news has been United Healthcare.
God! Oh no, I'm not on them anymore. I just switched.
Yep.
So
United Healthcare, and it will probably end up costing them over $1 billion to deal with the recovery between fines and because the problem is when they have a breach and there's information stolen, right? So Peter, you're in Florida, Sly, you're in Oklahoma. I don't know if Oklahoma has a privacy law or not, but every time there's a privacy law, and then of course we've got California in the room. They have a privacy law. So if you have even one person in any of those states whose information got released, then you're very likely going to get sued by that state. So it's pretty serious.
let's welcome Carlos real quick.
Hey, Carlos.
I snuck him
Hey,
in.
Carlos.
So.
California, man. Come on.
Are you California? Are you in California, Carlos?
Oh my gosh. I am so in California. Hey, you guys. Good to see everybody. All right.
You too.
Yes. I had a hangover from last week, though. I think we went a little long last week.
We're not doing that. Don't worry about it.
Peter couldn't stop talking. That was the problem.
Yeah, well, he's got that problem.
Right.
That's right. Hey, what's happening, you guys? What's going on? What am I missing? What are we talking about right now? I want to join.
Well, I got a letter in the mail today from AT&T, and I thought it was going to be a change to my service. But I should have saved it and brought it in here. It said that they got violated, and then my information is on the dark web, and that I need to blah, 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 basically change my password and stuff. This is from AT&T, which is not that small of a company. So that was a very surprising letter.
Yeah.
So
that was a breach that happened a little while back. They're now getting their notices out, but that's one of the ones that they do a lot of security work. You don't like it when the security companies get breached. That's never a good thing.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay.
So I haven't been with AT&T for years.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
I got a check because my data had been breached years ago.
Oh.
And so I got a check. It's still in my truck. I haven't even put it in the bank yet for $23. That was my.
Are we going
my
for
settlement.
lunch?
I was going to say,
Are we
don't
going-
spend all that in one place.
Well, that'll about pay for my lunch. So,
It'll
You
pay
know,
for that
I am
pizza.
with
It'll pay for that
AT&T,
pizza supply. Yeah.
and
that
I
pizza.
did not get a check. It's got to be that, we're not supposed to
Maybe they-
identify the genders and stuff, but she's a girl and she got a check and I didn't.
well, maybe because you're still a customer and they're just going to take it off your bill.
That's
Oh.
a good point.
That is a good
Yeah.
point. I was being silly and
So-
Sly comes in and gets all smart and makes me look like an idiot, but that's
Well,
normal.
no,
That's,
that's my job.
that's your job.
That's my job.
He's really quick.
So, Carlos, what's going on with you, bud? She
Uh-oh.
may not.
Right now, I just finished up my last client for the night, and I just thought I want to jump on with you guys and see what's going on, what's happening.
Oh,
And
there you go.
it's
Well, I've got my little sidekick with me right here.
oh, yeah, check that out. Look at that. What?
I'm afraid to do this because I wasn't able to undo it a minute ago, but
There
you
we
can see
go.
him in the corner. See?
Look at those
Yeah.
headphones. Oh
Yeah.
my God. It's
He's-
See the
it's like
headphones?
watching like those little kids who like do motocross. Their helmets are they're all helmet, right? They're all helmet.
Yes.
That's kind of how
Yes.
the headphones look. That is so cute.
So I offered to buy him some children's ear
Oh,
things.
okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
And my son and I have the same set, right?
Okay.
And so when he's at my son's house, that's what he likes to wear. And so he didn't
Oh,
want
okay.
a set of children's. He wants to wear mine. So, okay.
That's so cool. He's like, no, I don't want the
But
kid stuff. Don't give me the kid
they're a
stuff.
little big on him. Yes.
So what is he wearing right now? Yours?
Yes.
Yeah, that they're the same size as his
Yeah.
head.
Yes, they are. But you know, that kid, he is wearing a 13 or a 1. I mean, he's 4 years old. His feet are he's ginormous. He's got the
Really?
biggest feet of any kid I've seen.
He's a big boy. Big boy.
So he's
Now,
going to be
who-
tall.
Okay.
That's-
He's going to be tall.
That's why
Yeah.
instead of calling him Little
Yes.
Man, I'm calling him Mountain Man.
Mountain
That's what they
man.
say. Like when you get a
Mountain
puppy
man.
and the puppy has great big paws that
The big
Yeah.
grow
paws.
into
Yeah.
their paws.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
But see, when I think mountain man, I think of the whole beard thing.
No,
and
no,
thankfully
that's not what
we
I'm
don't have
thinking
facial
of-
hair yet.
Paul Bunyan and stuff like that. But no, I'm not turning him into that kind of a person. I'm saying he's rough and tough. He's not like a little, oh, I'm gonna cry every 2 minutes,
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
So
he's
here's
good
something I
kid.
want to throw out to you guys. I want to throw this out to you guys and get an opinion because this is camera centric. So I'm starting to get outdoors and I'm pushing myself to adventure, and it's like I'm committed to starting this new chapter of my life. And it's scary because it's not comfortable for me, but I want to push myself. So I got rid of, my little sports car that I had last year. I got rid of it, and I've done a little off-roading, when I was younger, but I'm committed now to really doing that more often. I have some friends that are overlanders. They are out, they're out in the high Sierras, and they're doing some really fun stuff. And of course, they're recording everything. They got their amazing drone shots. They're doing their action cams on their cars. They're doing just amazing things. But I want to start doing that more often. So I went ahead and got a truck last year, and just recently I started to get out there. Now, what I would like to do is what I don't see a lot of overlanders doing is they do a lot of great recording, a lot of filming with their drones and with their action cams, underneath their cars and on their hoods. They do a lot of that great stuff. But what they really suck at is they really suck at the fireside chats at night. It's terrible. The sound is terrible. Video is terrible. The low light. That's where they fail.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I turn them off. I'm like, yeah, I liked everything else, but I can't handle the way you sound. Like one person is on a mic, nobody else is. They're low light. They're not, so it's just grainy, and they could even be using. I know one guy is using his A7 IV to film at night, but there is no lighting, and I'm wondering how can that be done better? There's somebody that I'm going to go out with, a content creator who overlands. There's a few here in Southern California that do this a lot, and I'm going to go out with him. And the idea was, would you let me try to set up a really good fireside chat that would feel really good to watch? and listen to. And that would be, something that I could put on my own channel. Like we would have an interesting conversation
Right.
in that fireside chat, but we need to set it up. And there's a lot of camping gear now that you can use for lighting and all that stuff. You don't need legit video lighting. You could just do it with existing gear, overlanding gear, camping gear. But it's just something I've been thinking about, and I thought I would run it by you guys and maybe give me some idea, because we're talking about super low light camping, fireside.
Let's divide that up into two segments: the video and the audio.
Okay.
Okay. So let's set up a scene, Carlos. Okay.
Okay.
Do we have how many people sitting out there by the fire? 2 people, or do we have like a round circle?
Well, I'm going to be going out. I'm going to be with just one other person.
So 2 people at the beginning.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So if you have a single camera, you got to put 2 people and a campfire in the scene. Is that do I have that
Yep.
right?
Yeah, and so
Okay.
we're going to be sitting behind the campfire. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So if you're behind the campfire, I'm gonna launch with the video for a second, and then I'm gonna pull in a Sly on the audio, because she's got such an array of microphones.
I'm seeing her
Uh,
pull some stuff up too. Yeah.
Right. She is pulling some stuff up. Okay. So
Very-
what I wanted to say was I was gonna have a bunch of people in here, at least 5, and I was thinking, how do I get the audio? Remember, we're on audio for the moment. Actually, I just switched, didn't I? I was on video. All right. So I guess we will go over audio for the second. How do I get everybody to be able to talk? And I'm sitting on a stool, but what I did was I brought in my piano bench from the piano. And I put a chair on each side, so that allowed me to put 4 people across. And I'm thinking I got this one mic that you guys see. So-
We need to try that.
Well, he's going to answer the question for us.
Try that.
Sorry.
That's fine. If you have a problem, you can mute it, Slide. Not a problem. You could just mute it while you have your conversation. So where would Carlos put a microphone, and what microphone? Because he did say he could hear one of the people talk and the others are just out in the wilderness somewhere. Well, that's not a good setup. Okay. So, Sly, what would you do on the audio side? Jim, if you've got something to say on that, because you got a lot of people on the stage, I
Yep.
imagine you guys are individually mic'd, okay?
Yeah.
But,
Keep talking. I'm going to turn my lights on. It's getting dark in here. I want to hear. Keep talking.
okay. So I'm thinking most of these mics, like if I grab and take this one off, this is what they call a dynamic mic, and it's designed to take the sound from the fan and the air conditioner and squelch it. But if I don't want to do that and I want to hear, let's say all 4 of us were in one room. So I want to hear when Sly talks. I want to hear when Jim talks. Okay. And of course, Carlos, I don't want to leave him out. I can't place the microphone aimed at my mouth and expect it to come through clearly.
Yeah.
So I'm taking I sound like a newsman where they take 5 hours to ask a yes or a no question, and then the news guy goes, no, So what would you do, Sly? You got any suggestions, or Jim, launch right in here. How do you get a bunch of people to be heard on one or more microphones?
When we do our things, right, anybody who's on stage, we're lav mic'd, but it's studio level stuff. So but I got those that Ceramonic mic set that has the 2 mics and the 1 receiver, and I was really I was having a problem that it was draining the battery. We determined that it was it's a fluke that you can either plug it into your phone or you can plug it in USB-C, and if you leave the little adapter in, even though the case accommodates it, it drains the battery. So as long as you take it out, it's fine. So we use that in the ham radio club that I do for the Zoom, and I clip one of those on each of the people that are doing most of the talking, and that that would seem to be the kind of solution. And they run for a good long time, but that would be a limit of of two. If you go past two, that's where it gets a little challenging.
Well, but Carlos, you've got that Hollyland Lark, the
That's
new
true.
setup,
Yep. Yep.
and when we went to a cave last year, and there was uh, the guide, my son, my daughter, little man, and then somebody we didn't know, kind of tagged along with us. And I was mic'd up, and my son was mic'd up, and you could hear. Now the guide was not real far from us, but he was coming in crystal clear. So if people are sitting around a campfire in fairly close proximity, I don't think you would have a problem hearing them if you put like one on this person and then the other one, like if there's four people, put one on person one and one on person three.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it would
Mm-hmm.
catch everybody in the thing. Plus,
Right. Right.
if you're overlanding, you're not going to want to carry studio equipment.
Yeah. No.
I
Right.
mean,
Exactly. Exactly.
yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
smaller is better. I've been saying
Yep.
that for how long? Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, but these
Yep.
lights, there's a buddy of mine that does ghost story type stuff,
Mm.
and it's always at night, and it's always in the woods, and he'll set up a tent, and he basically has lights like this
Okay.
that are on a little bitty tripod, and this thing
Yep.
extends up pretty big, but and he does it in front of a campfire.
Mm.
So you still see the campfire, you don't see these lights, but it lights
Okay.
them up enough, and he'll have two or four of them depending on the shot he's wanting to get,
Yeah.
but they're
Yeah.
powered with a power bank.
Oh. Okay. There you go.
Okay, because there's no
Yeah.
electricity out there, right?
Yep. Yep.
So they're LED, they don't take much power, and so that's the setup I have for my overhead lighting
Mm-hmm.
and it's so small and compact I can take it anywhere,
Yeah.
but I'm not taking it to Las Vegas. I'm I'm going to take an on-camera light for Las Vegas.
Yeah. Okay.
But
Okay.
but
What
for
are those?
camping, yeah.
What are those, Sly? What's the brand of those? Or what is that
I
like?
th- I think this one is newer.
Is it
I
newer?
think.
Okay. It looks like it. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think
I'll
Small
check
Rig
that
makes
out.
one like that too.
I'll check that out.
Yolandi makes them too. Yeah.
Okay.
And
Every,
Yolandi.
Yeah.
everybody and their dog makes them.
The important thing is the power bank, though. That's a really key part of that, though. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. And this one,
Mhm.
you can plug 4 lights into it.
Oh, okay.
Don't ask me what brand this is, but
Yeah. 'Cause
'cause
camping lighting can
don't really
get ridiculous. I mean,
know.
those lanterns they cost $400 for those amazing
Right.
lanterns that just light everything up, and I
Right.
don't like spending that much money on, things. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
no. These are as bright as the ones that I have that run off electricity,
Okay.
but USB.
Hmm.
I don't know if you can see that, but they're USB A,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
so
yeah.
you can plug 4 of those into one power bank,
Okay.
and you're good to go.
Can I be the
Awesome.
contrarian here?
Oh,
Yes.
All right. So what I'm thinking is if I'm in a campfire situation and I'm sitting out there and talking with people when there's a fire, okay, I'm not coming against what Sly just said, so don't anybody take that like that, because you'd be wrong, okay? I just want to say that in wedding photography, many times we are careful not to alter the mood, okay? So a campfire and a bunch of people out there, they're going to be in a mood where they are in a campfire. And if I was sitting out there and somebody turned on lights, I'd be going like, oh man, turn that thing off, And again, I'm not, Sly gave a very good point, okay? So I want to be very careful. I'm not saying anything against, what she said. But if I was going to do that and I've got a wedding mentality, I don't want to change the mood. It's a campfire. It's people sitting at a campfire. They're talking. They might be getting into intimate conversation on any particular type of a topic, okay? And then when you turn on a bunch of lights, it changes it. So I would look towards a f1.2 lens before I would look into getting a light. And if I
Yeah.
needed to put the camera way back,
Yeah.
because sometimes you might have a 50 millimeter, you can't get a bunch of people in that. So
Right. Right.
you'll have to take the
Right.
camera far away. And at that point, honestly, grain is going to be there. It's just part of life.
Yeah.
Okay. Don't let it get you super upset. But a 1.2 lens will usually let you put in a lot of light. Okay. So that's how I would retain that warm, cozy, intimate feeling by, instead of popping in some lights, I would pop in some technology. Okay.
Peter, with
Yeah.
Well,
the dual ISO capability, like, and I'm not that familiar with it, but I know you talk about that a lot.
Okay. So the camera that we're actually looking at right now, if you're at ISO 400, 640, whatever it is that you're at, and it looks good and clean, and you start to go up ISO 3200, ISO 6400, well, when you get all the way up to ISO 12800, which is really high, I bet very few people have done that, okay?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
on the camera that you're actually looking at right now, when you go to ISO 12800, it reverts back to the noise level of ISO 640. Okay? So
Wow.
I've done it in my
Wow.
bedroom in the middle of the night with my foot. I put my foot on top of the other foot like that, and I'm looking at my foot. And I got all the lights off, and it's getting grainy, and then I switch over to ISOs 8,000, 10,000, and it's looking kind of yucky, okay?
Right.
Then I go to 12,800, and it's like, what happened? What happened here? You know? So that becomes quite important. But then you got to have the camera that'll do that. So remember, Carlos was saying he was a cheapy, weepy kind of guy? So he's not going to go out and buy a camera for camping, but if you
I
look
will
at
if
your
I start
equipment-
doing more of it. I totally will invest in it if I start doing. If I
Okay,
do more
so
of
the
it, for
camera
sure.
that's got the best of everything that you're talking about right now
Yeah. Yeah.
is the ZVE one. Okay, and
Yeah,
I'm not.
okay,
I get nothing if you buy that or not. I'm just saying that
Yeah.
one's got some 1.2 lenses. It's got the dual ISO and that kind of stuff. So that would be a camera that would be for that purpose. You know how I say people ask me, what camera do I buy? And I'll say that's a dumb question, even though we're taught there is no such thing as a dumb question, okay? But that is a dumb question because it's what camera do you buy for that purpose? And Carlos has just laid a purpose on us, which is exactly what we need when we're discussing this kind of stuff. What's the purpose? Now, Sly immediately went, I'm going to light it up. I'm going to light it up, okay? And that is a common...
Because he said the person that he's going with is a content creator.
What?
So if you know you're creating content and you're with someone who creates content, I wouldn't think anything about turning on lights if I know I'm filming it. So that's why I went the light direction.
That's fine. And again, I'm not blaming you. I'm just saying, you notice that we have two different directions here? Okay.
Right.
And it's because of the experience that a person has as to what they're going to do. Jim has set up his living room. He's thinking all about lights. Okay. Carlos just put in a new studio. You're at home now, Carlos? Okay. So see, he's got the lamps, and he went back and he lit his lamps. Well, what are you going to do out on a camping trip? You ain't got no lamps back there, buddy. Okay. You're going to use the fire. You know, if you want to light a second fire, have at it. Okay.
Yeah.
I have a mindset of keeping the ambience feeling, okay, but I would say most people, maybe 8 out of 10, would go with what Sly said. Let's go buy some lights, and we're going to light all these people up. But you might put a damper on the conversation, because if I was going to talk to you about my girlfriend or boyfriend or whatever the thing is, or we were going to talk about men and women like Carlos does, we kind of want that intimate covering over us so that we feel more free to talk. You know, you give somebody a mic and put him up on the stage, he's going to talk very different. Okay. Now, Roy, I'm not sure. Roy just made a comment. Okay. Let me put
Yeah, I
it up
saw that.
there. All
Yeah.
right. I don't know if he's joking, but it's not a bad idea. Okay. If there's a
Uh-huh.
car nearby, turn the headlights on. I mean, if you have to diffuse it, diffuse it. Okay. So, and then what Randy's saying is starlight, which is the ambience. Okay. So we have a couple of different things going. So, Sly, how many lights would you put out there? You said you could put up to 4?
Yeah.
Okay. Would you feel comfortable, either of you two guys in the bottom Hollywood squares? Would you be comfortable setting up lights out there? Would it be okay for you?
If it matched the mood, so I would want warm lights, right?
Right.
And because I mean it's like kind of like this right here, the one that I have over here. I like, if it was warm and if it didn't, like you said, if it didn't really mess up the mood, I mean, somebody even said, I think it was Roy who said, barn doors. Yeah, we want to make sure we have barn doors to make sure and focus that lighting as well. That can keep it from spreading. Um,
Well, and
I would, yeah, go ahead.
I think every set I have of these
Yeah,
comes with um,
Yeah.
filters, so
yeah,
you can
yeah.
change whatever
Diffusers.
color,
Oh, the
make
colors.
it
Yeah,
whatever
okay,
color you want. So you
okay.
could make it fire color, you know,
Yeah, yeah,
Make
put a
everybody
little
orange.
amber.
yeah. I just wouldn't want it to be overwhelming because I agree with you, Peter. I don't want the mood to change. I don't want to mess up the mood because it's really important. But as you see that campfire light, I, ideally, I think what you were saying is your technology can really hone in on that and be super awesome in low light. I mean, what is it? Some of our action cameras are really incredible, right? In low light, aren't they?
Yeah, how would the Pocket 3 handle that, Sly? What do you think?
Well, Peter, I'm not as impressed with the Pocket 3 as you are.
I'm
So,
impressed. It's
Oh,
got a night mode. It's got a
yeah.
night
So,
mode.
like Lazuka said, if the gimbal quits working, you're done.
Okay, well,
So,
don't knock the
um,
Pocket 3, but
the
take
the
the ones that you have in hand. How would they work out there?
yeah, the 4 is supposed to have the bigger sensor and be so much better in low light. And honestly, I don't see a difference. I've tried them both,
no,
like on my little stick, and went out in the dark and put and with and without a light, and I wasn't. There's not a noticeable difference. Um, yeah.
yeah,
So
yep, yep,
So
the
Roy
the the
is
original.
talking about setup there,
yeah. That would
Carlos.
be awesome.
You set your
Hmm.
camera up so you got people, and behind them they've got a light inside of a tent. Even if there's
Right.
nobody in there, it's going to make it with that light in the back of your room.
In
That's
the
a great
back, yeah,
Hmm.
idea.
behind
You know.
us, yeah, behind us. I mean, you can
Yeah.
even have a light that's kind of hitting our cars, our trucks, or
Right.
you know, the tents on top of our trucks or something like that. You can do some of that. But I mean, it's just capturing that intimate interview scene is what we're talking about here. I really want to be able to capture that. Um, it kind of like in the best way that we can, that people can see us well enough and they can hear us well enough. I think it could be done. I think it could be done pretty well. I mean, but
I
it just
think you'll
it
be surprised how much that those little microphones pick up the people next to
yeah,
you.
yeah.
I was surprised when I started editing the video. I
Mm,
obviously I couldn't put it up because
okay.
YouTube has an issue with me putting videos of him up. Um, I don't know why,
Oh,
but
because of the
yeah.
Yeah.
child
Anyway,
thing. The child thing.
yeah.
Oh,
So that was one that just went into the family vacation archives. But I was actually really surprised. It sounded like the tour guide had a mic on. So
Wow.
you'd be surprised
Wow.
how well they pick up.
Okay.
Uh, and he wasn't mic'd up. It was just he was either picking up my son's mic or off mine. So, but you
And
could
I
hear
can
every
say
very clear.
when we use them, the mics that I was talking about, similar thing, right? Because we'll have like 5 or 6 people across the table, and the
Okay.
president of the group is in the middle, and I got them mic'd. Then there's a few people, and if the person right next on either side is talking, it's okay, right? It's not as good as the person who's mic'd up,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
it's certainly acceptable. But then as
Hmm.
people go further down the table, you get into a problem. But I think what Sly's saying makes a lot of sense. And on the lighting, I think that's not my strong suit. I have been looking at a lot of astrophotography stuff because that's something that I want to, like you, Carlos. I'm trying to make that my thing if I'd ever
Nice.
get off
Nice.
the road. But there's
Yeah.
a lot of folks that do, they set up 2 scenes, right? They capture the sky and then they do the foreground, and the foreground
Okay.
they're using various lighting. And a lot
Yeah.
of times it's just sort of that kind of thing. It's a spotlight to not a spotlight, but sort of a spotlighting to bring a face out or to bring you mentioned that somebody mentioned the tent. You see that a lot of times where they take the lights and they lay them on the floor of the tent and they kind of
Yeah.
light up the tent. So there's a lot of things
Yeah.
you can get creative with out there, I think.
Right. Right. Yeah, that's really cool. I mean, this is helpful, very helpful. If you guys ever watch any of these, I mean, there are a lot of people out there. I mean, here, I don't go out on the weekends because everybody's like, everybody goes out on the weekends, and you have traffic jams. You have traffic jams out on these trails, right? And it's like, I don't feel like being in a traffic jam. So I go out on the weekday. But what you see is, when I watch some of these videos, I've seen some of these creators, because they're all out there. I've seen drones pass each other. I'm seeing him film, and then I see another one come right past him, and it's like they're all out there, and um, they're doing all that. They're focusing on all of that, and they're missing out on their conversations. It's like that's where people kind of, at least I do. I tune them out when they start having those conversations at along the campfire, because they just, what did you say? Or
Yeah.
you can't really see what's happening. It's just fuzzy.
Can you hear me in the back?
Yeah. So
So
that's kind of it. I'm thinking, well, maybe we can do that better.
I brought this mic and put it on the table. When I do my shows, I'm using the mic, which is where my hand is now.
Okay.
That's a directional dynamic mic. You
Okay.
can even get these in condenser also. Now, when I sing, and Sly's aware of this mic, when I sing, I want an open, airy thing, and that is this mic, which is a condenser mic. Okay, but it allows any noise in the room to come in. Okay.
I'm playing Plants vs. Zombies.
So
Yep.
I'm going
Yep.
to put this guy on. Okay.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And all right, I believe I've switched over. So now I'm going to step back a few feet, and I'm actually going to go over to the edge, and you guys are going to have to give me the feedback on it. So now,
Can you go more? Can you go more over to the right? Like just go all the way over.
which way right? Mine or
Where
yours?
you were, to your go to your left, and just keep going. Just keep going and keep going.
Leave
until
the
you're out of
room?
shot.
You want me to go to the bathroom?
Yeah, that would be nice. That's what I was hoping.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So you got me out of the
It's-
picture.
There
but
it is.
You can still hear me.
I know.
Hello, help! I'm over here. I'm back here. All right. So how does the sound like there? Okay. If I was, hey, Jim, Jim, what about this and what about that? Would you be hearing my conversation?
Yeah.
Now, I haven't pumped the volume up a lot. Okay.
Yeah.
It's
Now,
pretty
it-
good.
definitely.
I
Still
mean,
hear
the
you.
difference from when
if
you're
I
right
do-
on it versus when you step back is pretty good.
All right.
Yep.
So now I got this mic.
Doable.
Okay. The little one down here. I'll do the same thing.
Okay.
Carlos wants me to get out of town. I'm leaving.
Yep.
Goodbye. Okay.
See ya.
So now I'm out in the same area. Okay. Would you be able to pay attention to a conversation if I was doing it with this mic?
I wouldn't like that.
No, that's a
You
little
wouldn't
weak.
like that. Okay.
Yeah, that's irritating. Stop irritating us.
Okay. Well, let me irritate you some more. Now, how about this mic? How about this mic here? This one allows me to go. I'll do the opposite of what we just did. I'll go to the other side of the room.
Okay.
Okay.
Keep
See,
going.
and that's what I was going to do when I was going to have all these people here sitting on the piano bench. I was going to probably try to get. I have a couple of these, not the same
Oh,
brand.
okay.
I've got I got one that's $99, and actually I think Sly has one that's even lower. Okay,
Oh,
but it
okay.
is called a condenser mic, and they're not directional on
Yeah.
purpose.
Yeah.
Okay, so this allows me to move from this side while I'm talking and to this side. And if you were just listening to this like it was a podcast, you'd be
Mm.
able to get. Now, if the fire is between there, I think you'd hear a lot of snap, crackle, pop.
Mm.
You know,
Uh-huh.
so
Yep.
that's an example. I don't know if Sly's got anything handy where she could show you some lower price, because this one here is in the what did this one cost? $200-300, Sly? On
It's I think it's 200, but you have to have it's XLR.
Oh, it
yes,
is?
it is XLR.
Okay.
So he needs something
Mhm.
that he can run off the camera.
Right.
Correct.
Right.
He's got to get what is an FX30? Don't they have the module on
Okay,
top for the
Granny.
XLR?
Yes,
Now
the
he's, now he's
FX30
got to
has
buy a new
it.
camera again.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I don't know how to.
All right, guys,
mute.
I am gonna have to go play Plants vs Zombies.
Okay.
So-
Okay, look at all
We have
Okay.
run to the end of his rope. So
He has not. We're going to miss you, Sly.
Yeah, it's good to
yeah,
see you, Sly.
so
Yeah, the show
will
is
leave-
never as good without Sly. So
It's never as good without her. Never.
No.
It's never.
No.
Have a great trip.
Thank you. Thank
Oh,
you.
wait.
I'll be
Wait.
back
When-
on Thursday.
When do you leave? Give us your schedule. What day are you leaving?
Friday. I leave
Today
Friday.
is Friday. Today is Friday.
Next Friday.
Next Friday.
No,
Next
a
Friday.
week from now. Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
And then you'll be gone for that weekend or longer?
The whole week.
Okay. All right.
You want
Are
to
you going to do your show, Sly? Are you going to do your show on Thursday?
Yes.
Uh-oh.
Yes.
Okay.
Why is this
So we'll
game-
see you-
can
we'll see you
tell
before
me
you go.
why this game
See you
called
before you
Yeah. You want to say hi?
No. Can
Okay.
I take these
He
off
says
yet?
All right. Good night, everybody.
Come on.
Does he
I
want to
wanna
see
take
the
Oh.
dog?
No, he wants to play Plants vs Zombies. So
You want to see
Yeah,
the dog?
but they're not even-
Oh, he likes the. There you go.
Not even the people.
Clean your ear this way. Don't you tell a single soul what I'm going to
Why
say.
am I going the wrong way? It's going this way.
Now you dear old man,
This is
don't
the
whisper
wrong
what
way.
you'll bring to me.
Hmm.
Tell me
Because
your
everything's
name.
Awesome.
All the stockings you will find
Let-
hanging in a
because
row.
everything's backwards.
Mine will be the shortest one. You'll be
Yeah,
sure
is-
to know.
Are you going to turn this off?
Huh? Yeah.
Hi, Hoss.
Okay.
Okay, we're done.
And turn that
That
off.
was
Sure.
really good. That was cool. Oh,
Okay.
I do better
All
with
right.
kids than I do with adults.
I think you're right.
Well,
I
he
think you're
he
right.
couldn't hear it because the sound is through the earphones. So yeah.
And he had his own
So-
headphones on too.
I want some plants.
Bye, guys.
That's
Bye,
for
Sly.
the other computer. So good night, everybody.
Yep.
Good night, Sly.
Yep. Yep.
Oh,
Where'd Jim
oh,
go?
I think I got
Where'd
rid
Jim
of Jim. Jim,
Oh, no.
get back in here. Get back in
to him.
here,
I wanted
Jim.
to- I wanted to talk to him a little bit too. See how he's doing. I haven't talked to him in a long time. I haven't seen him in a long time.
Okay, he'll
How's he-
come back in as soon as he
Yeah.
realizes I swatted him out. So I went
Okay.
to click her off, and she
Yeah.
clicked off. Therefore, I clicked Jim off, and that's
Oh, I
what,
see.
what just happened.
Okay. Okay. I'm going to center. Get
So-
over here a little bit. Okay.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
could make yourself look
Okay.
pretty there.
So what do you feel like a little bit of your desire to get some of us on with you, Peter? What has motivated you to do that? To get, to
well,
invite some of
basically,
us on?
this. Have you guys ever heard of a YouTuber called named Roman Atwood? Roman Atwood.
Sounds very familiar. Yes,
Okay,
I have.
He's got 15 to 16 million subscribers. Okay.
Yeah, just a few.
Well,
yeah.
if you watch his latest video,
Yeah.
I don't want to say he got burnt out, but he had the same realization that I do. I've got 39,000. He's got 15 million. But most of his 15 million are dormant. They're just
Okay.
dead grass. And I think most of my 39,000 are the same way.
Mm.
So I was paying attention because when he started to say that he recognized that, I was thinking like, okay, well, let's see what he's going to do.
Yeah.
So he decided he was going to start fresh. He started a brand new channel. So the first time I saw him, he had 15,000 subscribers. He's over 50,000 now. Okay, so
Wow.
the people that are not dead wood,
Yeah.
okay, are coming to the new channel. Okay, and his
Okay.
new channel has a focus of helping you, meaning me and you,
Hmm.
to make money. Okay, that
Okay.
is what that focus is.
Okay.
So this is going to sound weird, but he bought a car wash, and he's
Huh.
going to use his popularity to have gatherings at this physical car wash. I think he's in Ohio or something.
Okay.
And he's
Okay.
going to parlay that into showing you how you could buy or start a little business and use YouTube to grow it and to grow your
Hmm.
income and so on. That's what
Hmm.
it looks like it's happening.
I see.
So that translates to me what is going to make this channel come alive, because it's basically dead. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
I think more people.
By the way, let me just say, Jim, if you're still listening, come back. I want to talk to you.
Oh
Come
yeah,
back, Jim.
Jim. I accidentally knocked you out. It wasn't an on
Yeah.
purpose thing, Jim. Don't get
Yeah. I
mad.
hope he. Yep. I hope he's still listening. I wanted to check in with him.
He's
Okay. So
probably wondering what happened. What happened?
I know. I know. Okay. So the car wash.
So the car wash is not the important part. The
Yeah.
important part is your question: what, why am I bringing people in? Sly.
Yep.
Well, there's a chemistry between Sly, you, and me. When we're on,
Mm.
I've gotten quite a few compliments. Okay, you guys
Mm.
do great together. Okay, she's not afraid to hammer me. You're not afraid to hammer me. Where most people are very respectful, and it's hard to
Right.
get a thing going. Okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
uh, and
Yeah.
you could see the chemistry, and I figured, yeah. And I invited Randy to come on. Okay,
Uh huh. Uh huh.
and Sammy, but Sammy's in bed. You know,
Okay.
he's a teenager,
Mm-hmm.
but believe he goes to bed early. You know, and that's just part of what he
Yeah,
does.
yeah, man. You know,
That's
he
a
needs all
lot of
that. He needs that
respect
rest. He needs that rest to be able um
to be a teenager all day.
to
You know,
put out the effort that he's putting out to do what he's doing. I mean, he's doing some
yeah.
amazing stuff, right? You know, he needs to be
Okay.
sharp. There's Jim.
All
Jim's
right,
here.
Jim is
I
back.
just assumed Carlos was running you out of the room, that he was done with me as well. So it was.
No, my apologies. So each one of us, including me, has a little red X on us. So Sly was saying goodbye and
Oh,
turning towards Haas, and I figured
Yeah.
I'm gonna need to X her out, but she clicked the X before I clicked the X, and so
Mm,
my X happened to have landed on Jim. So
right.
you,
Right.
it's like the Hollywood squares, like I said before. So you know,
Yeah.
you were,
Yeah. Yeah.
you
Yeah.
could be,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
could be
Yeah.
the center square, Jim. You could be Paul Lynn right now.
yeah, I love the attention.
Jim, what I'm curious, I know a while back, I don't know if you had more time, you know, but I think you had been testing a little bit some of the live stream stuff. And then, you know, I would imagine you probably don't have a lot of margin though. Um, is that something that you still would like to do, you know, is to do more recording or more live stuff or okay.
Yeah, and that's what, this setup here. Like I said, I got new windows while I was gone this last week,
Okay.
so I had to move things around because that's where you're seeing this junk over there and
I
over there.
see.
But the
Okay.
basic setup is, I physically moved to a little bit larger space,
Mm,
and the goal is to be able to uh, get set up and start to develop some content, deliver some content around cybersecurity, and parlay that into kind of the retirement game, right? Because I'm not that far from retirement.
okay.
I'm
Okay.
getting a lot of contacts, doing a lot of networking with my current job. I was 3 out of 4 weeks this last month. I was on the road doing trainings, and so there's some momentum there. So to answer your question, yes, but the point, I want to do something where I can be consistent, because it
Yeah.
seems like when someone
Yeah.
says, like a lot of the folks on here do, right? I'm going to do a Tuesday night show, or I'm going to do a this, and then have and I like what Peter's doing on the big channel with
Yeah.
I'm gonna do live, right? And I'm gonna
Right.
keep it short, but I'm
Yeah.
kind of killing two birds with one stone. I'm generating something that's out there now and can be reviewed, but I also may develop a live audience that has some interest. So that's
Yep.
the goal.
Yeah, that's cool, Jim. That's cool because I think you got a lot. I think you got a lot to. I just think your personality, is kind of soothing, and I think that's going to be cool. I think what I mean. It's easy to listen to you. It's easy to watch you, and listen to you. So
Well, and the
Both of
cyber
you are like
things
that.
are
Both,
interesting.
yeah, both of you are like that. I'm
you're
extravagant,
just annoying,
silly.
Peter. You're just
Yeah, I'm
annoying.
just plain
Yeah,
annoying.
yeah,
And
that's it.
then I should be in the middle. Then you'd have the soothing guy on the left and another soothing guy on the right, And then
So you,
eventually
so
I
you
would get
wouldn't you wouldn't
fired.
be a
Thank you, Carlos. I'd get fired, okay. And the Peter Gregg live show would become Carlos, Jim, and Sly. Where's Peter? They fired him.
That's
So
right. You're fired. That's right.
you're
you
fired.
got your red shirt on, so if you shifted me over there, you'd be the rose between two thorns, maybe. So
Oh, very funny.
There you go.
Well,
There
this
you
is
go.
Good Friday. I need to be in the middle because I could be Jesus. Okay. And then you two,
Okay.
you guys can argue which one is the good guy and the bad guy.
good thief and the bad thief.
So
Okay.
right. So unless you really know your Bible, you don't know which one is the good thief and which one is the bad
There you
thief.
go.
Okay.
There you go. Something I find interesting that I think I'm going to start doing is I'm going to start, I think, there's a gal that I know, a content creator, and she does stuff for wives. She has her YouTube channel is all around helping wives in their marriages. What she does is she records an hour live stream on Mondays, and she breaks that into 5 segments. And
Why
then
did you say she records an hour live stream? Is it
I'm
live
sorry, yeah.
or
Yeah.
is it
No, actually, I'm
recorded?
sorry. She actually does a live stream. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
And then what she does is in that live stream, she hits 5 segments. And then each of those segments is about 10, 15 minutes. And what she does for the rest of the week, as you know, is she posts
Extraction.
each of those segments for the rest of the week.
Become a show.
They're all little shows. They're all 15-minute shows.
That's excellent.
And I've watched her do this for the last 2 years, and it's just been consistent and successful. Just record the whole. I mean, not record again. Shoot the live stream all at once. Use those segments throughout the rest of the week for little videos. And we're not talking shorts. We're talking like legit videos.
Right.
Each of them is a little encapsulated video, and it's been so successful for her. And I think that's kind of what I am considering now doing, because you can repurpose that whole thing in each segment, right? Just cut each segment up. And, of course, you can always do shorts and all that stuff, but I'm talking about legit segments that I think might be super helpful
So
too.
like
Really helpful for her.
it's 5 and like 5 different topics, or maybe an overarching topic, and then 5 segments. And so
Yeah, but it's an overarching
I
topic.
guess my question is, she's creating the content in the hour long with the intent and thinking of the structure, the run of show, if you will, right?
Exactly.
To be able to do that. Okay.
It sounds like an outline with 5 topics.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. So each of them are standalones, but when you put them all together, they can all flow together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of brilliant. But
Well,
again,
the
I guess
6-hour show that we did the other night, there was
Yeah.
a bunch of smaller shows within that show.
There was. Yeah, we did a
I
lot
mean,
of
we
really
got
good.
into quite a few different topics. Didn't even start out with you guys on there. It started
That's
out.
right.
I don't remember. It started out with Sammy and Carlos, the other Carlos.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
You guys talking about some good stuff. Yep.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what it was, because I fell asleep, and when I woke up, it was a whole different set of topics. And then I went upstairs and got ready for bed, and then turned it back on. It was a different set of topics. So
Well, I like to give the young people a helping hand, and that's what I did. But then Sly came in, and then Carlos surprised me and came in, because it was like, it's hard to get him sometimes, and all of a sudden, he's right here on my screen, which is a blessing, And he's doing it again tonight. It's an Easter miracle. That's what it is. Okay.
there it is.
So,
Well,
so when you started what you said, Carlos, it sounded like you would be willing to take a few people out into the woods to have a group session. You have group sessions, don't you? Besides the one-on-ones?
I do. I do.
Would you like to take one of these groups into the woods and never bring
You
them
know,
back? Sorry, I couldn't resist.
exactly. I mean, it's just so weird because now you're talking about liability, when you start doing that kind of stuff.
Oh, so the
Once you
answer is
go,
no. That's not what you were
yeah,
thinking.
probably not. Once you go off my property, I'm not insured anymore. You got to stay on my property. You got to
Okay.
stay me off my
All
office.
right.
But one person would be different. But this guy that I'm going to go out with, his YouTube channel is called Trail Newbie. That's his YouTube channel.
Trail
And
newbie.
he started overlanding for mental health.
Can you give me the definition of overlanding? I'm sure I'm not the only one that said, because Overlander is a car. It's a Subaru.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you said we want to do overlanding, I was thinking you were going to go out in the woods with your Subaru. Okay. I
Yeah,
know
that's it.
I'm normally silly, but I didn't mean it to be silly this time. I promise.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's that mean? What does that word mean?
It's what you just said. I mean, we're talking about, overlanding is exploring the outdoors in your, generally in your high clearance vehicle. Okay.
Oh, so
And
it does
so,
involve a car.
yep.
There's
Yep.
there's a magnificent movie. Well, I enjoy it, and I guess this grandfather or somebody's got this. Let's say a 14-year-old boy. Okay, and he is completely out of control. So he takes him and his buddies, and they go out into the woods, and they're gonna teach him how to be more of a man. All right, that
Okay.
was the understanding, but it went south, and it became a survival thing. Okay.
Okay.
And everybody came out changed. Their personalities came out completely different than when all the people that went in came out. It was very touching, a very emotional movie for me because I love kids. So it was a fantastic thing to see the child change.
It was.
But you also
Yeah.
saw the adults change, okay? Because now the adults were not there to teach the kid a lesson; they were there to keep the kid alive, okay? Because it
yeah.
became when I say it became a survival thing, it really became a survival thing, okay? And I think there was a bad guy that was after them,
Okay.
and they lost their
Okay.
radio gear, and everything went south, and it became quite an interesting thing. But everybody grew up. That's what the point of that movie was. Everybody
Everybody
grew up.
grew up.
Everybody
What
grew
was
up.
the name of the movie, Peter? Do you remember?
Nope.
Remember? Wow,
Mm-mm.
it sounds good. If you remember the name of that, you find it. Yeah.
I would
Let me
love
know.
to watch it again, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. But
I
that's
already owe you something. A
You do?
doctor that is calm, I think.
That's right.
Because, okay, and I didn't come through on that. So my hitting average here is not that great. But I'll work on it.
Work on it. Work on it. But that's Jim. You were saying that you are doing a little of that too. Maybe a little adventure. Is that what you're saying? Are you getting out there and?
Well, it's just, something that's about, it's doing something by me for me, right? To be able to enjoy it. And my brother, he likes to do some of that stuff as well, but it's really about me, quite honestly, getting something that's not work related because I'm working like an absolute fiend and
Oh,
I'm not,
okay.
it's not healthy. I know that,
Yeah. Yeah.
um, and I love, I do love photography. I like to go into new pieces of it. And so but the challenge with astrophotography is you got to get out of town, right? You can't just go out to the
Yeah.
parking
You
lot.
really got to get out of town. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's so I'm scheduled to go out to, Kanab, Utah,
Okay.
to there's a group called, Parks National Parks at Night,
Okay.
NPAN, and they do a couple of conferences, and I've done their remote conferences just via video, and they're putting together this conference, and I was really excited. There's a particular photographer named Alan Wallace who is just incredible, and he was going to be there, so I was all excited. I had bought his book, and so literally, like, I signed up for the conference, and I sent him a message. I said, "Hey, man, just I'm going to go to this conference. I'm excited you'll be there. Will you sign my book?" Just and he said, "Oh, absolutely." And then it turned out that he passed away a couple weeks later.
Whew.
So
Wow.
there's like 12 people in this conference, so the conference is still going, but it took the wind out of my sails a little bit, and that's one of those things where it'd be very easy for me to say, okay, if he's not going to be there, but I'm still going to go, right? And
Good. That's good, Jim. I'm glad you're still gonna do that. You know, I mean, it sounds like you get a lot out of that. You know, I mean, here, yeah, where we usually go, or where I see a lot of photographers go who do that kind of photography, they'll go down to Joshua Tree, right? That's
yeah,
where
Joshua
a lot of,
Tree or anywhere out in that area.
yeah,
Um,
and I mean, it's mind-boggling when I go, because I do most of the places that my wife and I go are in Joshua Tree, because it's it's so jarring for your central nervous system when you go out in the middle of, you know, when you get something in Joshua Tree, or, you know, or something that's more like a dispersed Airbnb,
yeah,
and you're out in the jacuzzi at 2 in the morning and you're looking up, it's surreal.
yeah,
It's it kind of, you know, it you have almost like a feeling even in your body. You know, you have a body sense because it's so out of the ordinary. It you don't see this all the time, and it's amazing just to, you know, you're in awe of what you're looking at, right?
and
And you
it's
I don't see
constantly
that.
changing, right, throughout the times of the year. What you see, and but it's also incredibly hard to photograph, and so that's
It
I love a
is
challenge,
okay.
right? But that's part of the, you know,
Yeah.
because the longer you take an exposure, you know, the Earth's turning, right? Stars aren't moving, the Earth's turning. So then you
Yeah.
get it. You either do a whole lot of little short exposures and put together a composite, or you use a tracker. So you know,
Mm.
I'm always going to be a gadget guy. So the fact that you have to buy some more gear to do this, I guess, is probably one of the things that intrigues me.
What is that called? That's called astrophotography.
Astrophotography, yep. And
I didn't know you
you
were into
have
that.
astrophotography. Well, I'm just getting into it, literally. Like I said, I bought Alan's book, and I've done
And
some
then he
things.
died.
You know,
If I
hmm?
ever write a book, please
That's
don't buy it.
I mean, it's a shame. This guy's so talented. I got
Uh,
several people. I bought his calendars
Younger
and
or
bought
older
him some
guy?
friends. Hmm?
Is he younger or older?
He was a younger guy. He was in his 30s.
oh
Oh wow,
wow.
Yeah,
Uh,
that death is unusual. You know.
yeah, yeah. They said in one of the memorial things they were doing that it was some type of an infection that just got out of control. Um,
wow.
so,
Wow. Yeah.
but the, you know, the as an instructor in YouTube, you know, it's ALYN. If anybody wants to check out Alan Wallace's YouTube, his content's still out there. Just an incredible instructor, right?
Hmm. Yeah, I
That's something.
wonder. Yeah, that's interesting. I wonder if I've come across. I've seen some stuff
Well, I wanted to
from
say it goes to
from
show you
Ashley.
how fragile the human being is,
Yeah,
and even
right.
more fragile is the human mind. You know.
Yeah,
Yeah, our
So
psyche, definitely, right. I
yeah,
think, but that's. I mean, it's encouraging, like what you're talking about, Jim. Like with this overlander that I was talking about. I mean, that's literally what he did it for, because of his depression, some of his anxiety, and it just developed into something. Like when you watch his videos, he does voiceover in the beginning, you know, when you see the drone flying over, and it's beautiful what he's, you know, it's kind of like you just hear a very centered and grounded individual. You know, therapy is it, the outdoors is therapy for him, is what it
yeah,
is. You
is
know,
the
yeah.
drone going
And
to
I
play
think
an
this,
important part of yours, Carlos?
you know, part of me wants to do that, but it also feels like where my wife and I, we went over to an amazing camping spot the other day where there was, and we have, thank God, you know, we can go out in the middle of the week because we're in control of our schedules, and so we can just reschedule our clients and we can go away. And when we went on that trip, I didn't bring any gear because I kind of thought we were going to run into some people, you know, and I really didn't want to do any of that stuff. But we didn't see one single person the whole way up there. Nobody. And so I thought this would have been perfect, you know, to have some drone shots, you know. And I did get my GoPro. I did stick it on the hood of my truck for a little while so we can see us going through ponds and doing things like that. But I'm like, man, if I would have known that we were going to be so alone, I would have felt more comfortable filming, because you know what these guys do. And I've asked them before, like, tell me how you actually film some of this incredible stuff. They stop, put the camera somewhere, they back up, they drive by it slowly, they get their camera back up, they stop somewhere else, they put the camera out for another angle, and that's what they do the whole way. And I don't
Yeah.
want to do that. That to me is it's a little too much. I think I'd want to enjoy the outdoors more. It almost sounds like that would be a little bit more I would create more anxiousness in me to be thinking about that all the time.
I
But
could I
that
could
is
see that, right? 'Cause
storytelling.
that's almost like that's more about the production
Yeah, it
than
is.
it is
It is.
about the experience, right?
Mhm.
Is what that sounds like.
Yeah, and I've actually one of the guys did a live stream out there because he had Starlink. Okay, and he did a live stream with a few of his buddies, and I asked them that question. Does all of your filming distract you from the experience? And one of them was really honest. He says, it does to a degree. It does. You know,
Greater than just a degree.
yeah,
It's
I
a
and
lot of
so
planning. I did
Yep.
a few of those shows. I
Okay.
I had to put the camera on recording and stick it in the refrigerator. Then I had to open the refrigerator and
Uh-huh.
whatever the story was. All that is planning. You are basically a movie
Yeah,
producer at that point, not
that's right.
what you want to be.
Yeah.
With the experience. So
Yeah.
what you're going to do, you're going to report it as a photojournalist, which is very different than creating the
I think so.
story.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the most important thing for me is to personalize it. I think the spectacular drone shots and all that are
Yeah.
they're great, but that's not. I think my focus would be creating a more intimate experience, and then at the site itself, I would like to, that's where I can give a quick talking head video at the actual
That's what I was
campsite
going to say.
or something.
In
Yeah.
Hollywood, when they make a movie, you're not supposed to look at the camera. You're supposed to look anywhere but the camera.
Right.
But
right.
that's a technique. I have seen it
Mm.
used in videos where all of a sudden they're in a movie, they're doing what they are, and then they stop and they talk to the audience,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
breaking character,
Right.
and that is a technique to use. That's the technique that you're going to be using if you go down this road. You're going to
Mm-hmm.
record what you're doing, and then you're going to break character, and you're going to come on and you're going to tell me what I need to know, okay? Directly to the lens, okay?
Yep.
Now, what we
Yep.
do is the opposite. We look at the camera all the time. Jim is looking at
Yes.
his lens, and you're looking at your lens, and
Yep.
I got to
Yep.
remember to look at my lens and not at the monitor up on the wall,
Yep.
And you could have seen Sly struggling with that earlier tonight. She was trying to look at the monitor, what I was doing. She was watching the grandchild,
Okay.
and very
Oh,
little
wow.
eye
Yeah.
contact with the camera,
Yeah. Yeah.
But then
Oh
she
my gosh.
conquered it. She conquered it, and it was
She nailed
perfect.
it.
She
Yeah.
nailed it. Is the best word.
Sly's a conqueror, man. She's a conqueror.
Oh
She's
yeah,
like,
She is.
she's something
Cars at
else.
one time shifted talking gear, right?
yeah.
You do I remember you having a teleprompter at one point in your setup?
Yeah, I got a few of them. Yep.
Yeah. So I mean, I just not just weeks ago I bought the Elgato
Oh, how are you
because
liking it? Are you using it
I
yet?
haven't not hooked up yet, right? It's this whole
That's
I
the one I was
moved.
thinking of getting. Yeah, that
But
looks awesome.
exactly what you're talking about, Peter, is that I mean I'm on Zoom calls, actually Teams calls, but same difference. I mean all day long. That's part of why this setup here is that, and it's all work stuff.
Yeah.
But I find that I'm looking at the camera and I'm looking at this monitor, and it's less about using it for teleprompter and more about taking exactly the screen I'm looking at right now,
That's
pulling
what
it
I
up
use it
there,
too.
and having you
Yeah,
looking directly at it.
that's right.
And so
That's right.
that's and it's great because it's one USB-C connection for everything. So because I
And
just
that's
got the
why
new Mac,
yeah,
the new Mac Air, and I went from
yeah.
4 Thunderbolt ports to 2. So
Okay. Well, that's why I
Well,
initially used that, by the way. I initially got that set up, and I used an iPad, a mini for a while because I needed to look at my client in the eyes
Yeah.
Hmm.
on Zoom, and that was so helpful. And I think it was DSLR video shooter. I think it was Caleb. He's the one who turned me on to that that
Yeah.
that setup, and being able to look at it, and see your clients on Zoom or whomever.
Hmm.
That was really cool. But the thing that you got now, it's just that to me is probably going to be the home run. You know,
Yeah,
um,
everybody's very positive. I literally haven't taken it
oh,
out of the
one
box.
unit, just one unit.
I've, I've got a teleprompter and Ring video doorbell to install this weekend. So there's my weekend.
Fun gadgets, gadgets.
Gadgets, I know.
This room is not
Yay!
set up for Zoom and stuff because I'm always looking over there or over there. But in order for me to speak directly at you, I have to look at the camera there. Now,
Yeah, you don't know where
when
you're
I'm doing
looking,
that,
Peter.
I
You
don't
you have
see
no
anything
idea.
else.
Yeah, you're
Hmm?
all. I don't know who. You don't even know what you're looking at. You
I
have
don't know what
cameras
I'm
all
looking
over your
at.
house.
It's
You don't know
like,
where am I? What camera am I?
Yeah, but
You're like, you know,
see
well, I take after Jerry Lewis on that. Where am I? Where am I? So you grab all these tools and you start using them. Honestly,
yeah. Well,
one of
you've
the
but that's
best things.
mastered. I mean, you have dialed in your cameras, your live streaming, Peter. I mean, it always looks the same. It's so consistent. You know, um, and I don't think we think about that much. It's just that it's really interesting that every time you go live, we know what we're getting. It's kind of
Yeah.
like
well,
that.
and it's your
There,
setup
yeah,
that through it's like the 7 degrees of Peter Gregg, right? Because it was watching Tom Buck talk about using this thing called Ecamm with multiple
uh,
cameras and automatically rotating, and he referenced the guy who does it best is Peter Gregg. So I Googled
yeah,
Peter Gregg, and here we are,
yeah.
right?
And here we are, right?
So Jim, you're on Patreon, the Patreon channel, right?
Yep.
But I don't think you're on, Carlos, right?
Oh, I got to get. I'll get on it this weekend. I'll
Okay,
jump
no,
on
no,
it.
this is not a sales job for $1. Okay,
No, I know
but
it's
what I
not. I just
wanted to
want to see
point
what
out
you're doing
is
on.
that
I
you
want to see what you're
you
doing
have
on there,
seen
though.
it, Jim, and the word that Carlos used is
Hmm.
consistency. Okay, I'm trying not to be consistent on the Patreon channel. So since you have watched some of the Patreon channel, would you say I'm doing okay with that? Because I'm trying to be completely uncharacteristic there. You're never going to know where you're going to see me. You're going to see me everywhere except on the toilet. So, I
Thank
mean,
you.
one
Maybe you
day
should be
I
on the
We
was,
toilet.
appreciate
That's
that.
right.
Yeah.
yeah, one day I was driving to Publix. One day I was out in the backyard. I'm trying to be the opposite. We're here.
Yep. No, I
It's
think
always the
it's
same.
and it's and I yes, that's exactly what it accomplishes because it's not as structured and it I would guess because now knowing you and seeing having actually been to the mountain and seen the Christmas room, I would think does it make you a little crazy, when you have to say, okay, now I'm going to put the camera down and I'm going to come over here and do that, because you are, but it does what you're saying is it's a different perspective. It has a different feel.
Hmm.
And but it's very engaging, right? I mean, I love that they're very short. And so like, I can't talk to people on the plane, but I can stream. So, when I'm traveling is when I catch up on those
Yeah.
sometimes, like catch two or three of them on when I'm on a
Right.
plane. So
Right.
yeah, I like it. I like it. And I think it does that. And if you have come across you as many folks do, right, and then jump in here or whatever, it's a neat alternative way to see what you do, right, and see the different things, and I like it.
And it's not large. I think there's all of 12, 15 people in there. So I try to do two things: not be consistent, and I try to engage and say names because I have learned that over the years. People like to hear their name.
Yep.
So
Yep.
I don't know if you watched today. I said you were flying somewhere. I didn't
Yep,
realize you were
I did.
flying home. Okay, so I got it backwards. I tried to mention Sammy. Sammy loves it when he hears his name. Okay, everybody does. I'm
We all
not
do.
picking
Yep.
on a younger person or an older person. So I'll say, what did I say today? Jim is flying in a tube somewhere. So,
That was like, I
uh,
think that was today. I think it was the last one that you said, and I said I'm getting back in the tube
oh,
and
okay.
heading
So,
out. Yep. Yep.
yeah. So I try to be not consistent. And
See Mr. Camera Junkie in the house. I wanted to give a shout out to Mr. Camera Junkie.
Oh
See
yeah,
he's around. Okay,
that's Lewis. He's right up
it
the road
was.
from here. He's not far.
he's the
He's
man.
got
Talk
uh,
about consistency. That
Yeah,
dude's
there
like
you go. That's
come on, man. He's Iron Man. You know what I mean? Between him and Peter, it's like ridiculous. You know, putting us all to
Lewis
shame.
is like something you could set your clock at. Okay.
Totally. Totally.
So,
Yeah.
and also speaking of that, the guy that made the comment, Randy,
Yeah.
got over 2,000 videos. I mean, I say that with huge respect. How does that happen? It can't happen. How did he do that? I'm flabbergasted. Let's me put it that way. I don't know what to say about the fact that he's got 2,000 videos, if not more by now. You know,
Yeah.
so
My dog is barking because she wants me to put her on the couch. So I need to go just put her up on the couch.
okay, you go
Okay.
ahead, do that.
Okay.
That's fine. I like to know who trains who. Do the dogs train us, or do we train the dogs? You
yeah.
know?
I mean, I can tell you fully well that my dogs have trained me when I had them. So
Yeah.
Oh, look,
They
he's staring
become
at you guys
actually,
over
they become part of the family.
oh,
Honestly,
for sure,
you know.
absolutely. And it just seems lately. So I had a funny
there. Come
and
on.
sad experience on. I was looking on Facebook and I had schnauzers. When I had dogs, I had two schnauzers, and someone said in this one group, and Facebook. I like to tell cars. Maybe you'll appreciate this. I like to say, Facebook for me, it's all about me. I only want to go on when I have something to say and see what you
Yeah.
think about it. And if it's not about me, I'm not on there. And
Uh-huh.
but now at least again with the travel, you're on a plane, you flip through things, and somebody said on this one Facebook group, put up a picture of your dog, right, of your schnauzer. And so I did, but what I said was this was my 1,878 videos. I said, this was my dog Heidi, and it was one of the last pictures I took of her. And I'm now up to almost 1,000 people telling me how sorry they are that I lost my schnauzer. Now this was
Yeah.
she's been gone over a year, right? It was about putting a picture of your schnauzer, but people thought that it was recent, right? And so
Yeah.
it was humorous and also really, touching that these people from
Yeah.
all
It
over
was
the
very
world, because
touching.
some of the stuff was in
Right.
another language, and Facebook has the button you can push to translate it.
Uh-huh.
And so
Uh-huh.
it was really neat. But I keep saying, as tempted as I am, till I retire, no more dogs. Too much travel.
Oh, I know. It's hard.
It's very hard.
But it's really neat how you pulled on some heartstrings, with that. You really did, right? You touched a lot of people with that. So, yeah, yeah. Well, like today is we're celebrating tomorrow, but today is my 21st wedding anniversary. Today we've been married 21 years today,
Oh,
and
nice. Congratulations.
thank
Happy
you guys.
anniversary.
And I posted something, just a little video of us, that we had from a while back. And, of course, it's the same thing. What do you think that did? I was like, I got so many more hits on that than I have on any video that I posted, because it pulls on the heartstrings, I just put music to it and whatever. And that was it. Did it.
That's a critical point. It goes to show
Yeah.
you how detached most
Yeah.
people are when they're
Mhm.
watching us. But you
Yeah,
say
that's true.
something like birthday, anniversary,
Mhm.
something about my dog, okay,
Yeah,
good or
personal. Yeah.
bad. Oh, I want to get in and wish you something good,
Yeah.
you know.
Yes.
You could have been talking about moving Niagara Falls to the next 3 states, and they just
Yeah.
sit there and watch you, But oh, it's my birthday next week. Oh, happy birthday, Carlos!
Right.
Happy
Right.
anniversary, Carlos. Hi, Meg. I
Yeah.
know you're in the background there.
Yeah. She's
Okay,
there somewhere.
so she's here somewhere.
Yeah.
Be nice.
That's so true. That's so true, though. But if I put out I think I put out a reel this morning, about just the normal stuff I put out. Nothing like that one, that, and it was just, I think it's just so much more personal, and people connect with that, like with what you posted, Jim. It's
Well,
just
and it's become so. Shorts are. Firstly, I have lost probably months of my life to shorts because doing this. And with me, it's always at night when I'm getting ready to go to bed, and then I'll
Oh,
look at the clock
yeah.
and it's 1:30 in the morning, and I'm like,
Oh,
Hmm.
what have you, what, you know, and I
yeah.
think there's a whole opportunity to investigate why that is so, why that gets people to do that. Because as soon as I tell that story, like half the people in the room will say I would do the same thing, right?
Hmm.
Or I bought something at 2:30 in the morning, and it was literally on the screen for seconds, but something about that. Um, so it to your point, Peter, I think that's, we're just got, we're down to this instant attention that's got to grab us, right? And the whole online connection, there's a lot of things going that go on out there. And then when you're trying to create content, or you're trying to think about creating content, in my case, I, I think it causes me to overthink it, right? I think what people
Bingo.
say, just do it, just get out there, just get something going, right?
Just
I've
get something
mentioned
going.
this.
Exactly.
I've mentioned this a couple of times. I'm using the wrong choice of words, but I understand what I mean. So for the Patreon channel, actually for all my channels, I have a new motto, and the motto is "I don't care." Now, I don't mean it as negative as it sounds. It means don't let anything stop me from doing it. Like my hair isn't right. I didn't take
Mm-hmm.
a shower. My face, I didn't shave. I got
Well,
the
if you
wrong
didn't take a
shirt on.
shower,
I look like I got dandruff. Okay. Well, the new answer to that,
I don't
I
care.
don't care. And that has kept me from stopping a lot of production that I would have done. Okay.
good
Uh,
point.
I, I just did a video, was it yesterday or maybe today? I lost track. And I walked around with the Lumix G7. I'm sorry, G9 Mark II. Get myself into the right year here. And the S5 Mark II, and I look terrible. I'm so picky on how I should look. Look at you guys. You look wonderful. Jim's got a nice skin. Carlos is missing his hat, but otherwise he's doing all right.
Thank you.
I'm
Thank you.
I'm
I'm glad I'm
I'm
doing all
picking.
right. I'm
I'm
glad
I'm
I'm doing all
picking on you.
right. I
You know
appreciate
I
that.
love you, right? You know I
Yeah,
love you.
that's really a
So
compliment. I received that from you, Peter.
you
Thank you.
received that,
Yeah,
huh?
I do.
It was
Yeah,
sent
thanks.
with a big bowl of love. Okay, so stop throwing it in the trash. All these gifts that I give you, stop throwing them away.
There you go. You compliment, Jim, like wow, but then it comes to me and I
Jim
get
is. I
crumbs.
mean, look how handsome is he? But you're
I
I
get
doing all
crumbs.
just,
right.
and I just
You're.
realized I didn't put any gel in my
I
hair
get
today because
crumbs,
I was
man.
going to be
I
on a
get
plane all day.
Jim gets it all. I get the crumbs. I don't know what the deal is with that. I don't know. I'm just saying. Okay, keep going.
Are we done
I was going to say, on
with your
that,
little
I do
outburst
think
over there? I'm gonna make
I've
you
got,
some green tea. I'm sorry,
I
Jim.
need
I
it. I
interrupted
need
oh,
you
it.
green
three
tea is
times now.
nice. Too late for green tea for me though. I think I'm going to take my leave, and
Okay.
this has been very fun. Thank you, and it's
Yeah,
an
it's
honor to
12.
be on here with both of you. But I do think I am literally, I can feel myself starting to fade off because
You
Okay.
it's
are.
been
You're
a
kind
long
of
Fading,
week.
like
man.
you're
Fading.
It's a
you're
long week.
you're
Yeah.
nodding and you're
It's so
fading and
good.
your
Yeah. But
building
it's
is
so good
going
seeing
over.
you and talking to you, Jim. So good to.
Likewise, for sure.
Yeah. Yep. Keep at
So,
it, man.
so
You
We can
if,
do
know.
this
if I
sometime without
invite you,
Peter. So,
if I invite you next week, you guys to come on, don't be scared to come on. We don't have to be on that long. Nobody said we got to do anything monumental here. What do we got? We
Yeah.
got 8 people watching. We're
8
not
people
going to
watch.
change the world, although Jesus did with 12. Okay, so what can I tell you? So
That is so good. That is so good. So I am going to sign off. I hear my I got to go walk my dog. She's dying, so I'm going to go walk her too. So I'm going to sign off as well. But I hope we can. I hope you have approved of Jim and I, and you might just invite us back sometime. I hope we didn't.
I have to think
You
about
know,
that. I really
I
have to.
figured you would. So
There's meetings, there's people, we get together and, we talk about these things in a round
yeah,
table, nice big
yeah.
round table.
Well, when the board gets together, just know that I think Jim and I would like to be back. So just
I
let
can
the
I can
board know.
send you my latest CV, and
Okay, me too. I'll get that to you right away. Yeah, that's good.
What's a
all
CV?
right.
I know what a resume
How
is.
do you
What's a
pronounce the
CV?
curriculum vitae?
Yeah,
Is that,
Oh,
Vitae,
it's
something
a
like that.
professional resume as
Professional,
opposed to
serious.
just a plain old resume.
we're Greek over here. We're not French. So Latin or whatever. What is that?
Latin. That's it. That's it.
You know, you
All right, you
and
guys.
Jim, you talk to each other and you get way over my head. And I feel like, I don't know what the hell these guys are talking about, you know. He's
Yep.
he's doing an Outlander over here, and he's doing astrophotography over there.
Outlander. I love it.
And
Outlander.
what did you call it? Was it an Outlander? Something.
Yeah, it's Outlander. It's Outlander.
It's
It's
yeah,
Outlander.
baloney.
Outlander now.
Now you're making
Yeah.
fun of the old guy in the room. So
I'm not.
yes,
You're the
you
master,
are.
dude. You're the only reason I went into my doctor today, checkup, again, just a checkup from 2 weeks ago.
Can you see if I'm still warm, please?
I lost 3 pounds. I lost 3 pounds.
Good.
Okay. I told him that I'm following this guy, Peter Gregg,
Oh no.
you know,
Oh
his
no.
diet, his way of eating, his healthy way of eating, and I told him all that I'm doing. And he read all my lab results and he said, "Your labs are looking much better." So thank you.
Are they
Peter.
really?
Yep,
I'm
they're
glad.
looking better. Looking better. So I'm gonna keep at it.
I was going to make a show as if I was talking to you to tell you what, and I was going to actually talk to this fictitious Carlos
Yeah,
and tell you
a lot of
everything
us
I
out
wanted
there.
to tell you, okay? And I'm going to put it on the kitchen channel. Why you should go into carnivore, what to look for in your blood
Do that.
blood work, not in your blood. I mean, don't
Yeah,
go
not your blood.
bleeding or anything,
Do
you
it.
know.
I think you should do that because there's a lot of people like me who want to see that. I think it's a great idea.
Yeah. The only thing
so-
I have to be careful, I don't have any authority in that field. You know, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a nutritionist.
And you say
I'm
that at
not-
the beginning. You just say
I'm
that.
not
at the
even,
beginning,
I can put it out there, and
Yeah.
and you're good.
And Jim,
Okay, you
you're always
guys.
wanting to do something healthier. You just never
I'm
quite get
always
it done.
wanting to is the key word.
There you
I,
go.
I purchased a pack of gummy bears and the peanut M&Ms for the flight
Ooh,
today.
with the peanut? Wow, that's
Peanut
fantastic.
M&Ms.
That's some
It
serious
was so
stuff. right
frustrating
there,
though.
man.
All I wanted was a potbelly sub. They have the potbelly sandwich up. I don't know if they have them.
Wow.
And I
I like
saw
that
it on the
word.
little display, and then I went hunting for it up and down the concourse, and then they were calling my flight, and so I ended up with peanut M&Ms and gummy bears.
Oh,
There
well.
you go. There
All
you
right,
go.
gentlemen, who's going to
All
take
right,
the
Jim.
show out tonight, Jim or Carlos?
Jim, say a farewell to everybody for us, Jim.
Say what?
Peter.
He's hard of hearing. I forgot to tell you that part, Carlos. See, he's got
And
2
actually,
ears.
so what year is this? You're on my
right.
bad ear, Peter.
Yeah, I'm on the bad ears.
I can
so.
hear Carlos, but you're on my bad
Okay.
ear.
Oh, okay. No, Carlos wants you to say your good nights so that you can X yourself out with the little red X I
Well,
see.
Yeah,
Good
and I'm gonna
night
X out.
to-
I'm gonna X out
good night.
with you.
Good night,
Oh,
Carlos. Good night, Peter. All the folks online, Mr. Camera Junkie. I guess Lewis is gone already. I feel bad I didn't say hey to him. Randy, good night.
I love both
Good night,
of you
everyone.
guys. Thank you for coming in here and rescuing me. I appreciate
Loved it,
that.
Peter. See you
All
soon.
right. Good night, guys. So little by little, I take the whole screen over. I feel so lonely all of a sudden. I need a counselor. I need a therapist. I need a psychologist, whatever Carlos is. You know, he's a professional therapist. I'm not sure if he's a psychologist. I know he's not a psychiatrist. I tried to get drugs from him, but he just wouldn't do it. Okay. But regardless, he is a licensed something. If not, at the very least, he's a licensed hat wearer. He wears the neatest hats. He hasn't worn them lately because I think he's moving away from that. And I kind of brought it in. He probably did not want to be reminded of that. So I think I'm going to go to bed. I'm not going to box up these cameras tonight. Why do tonight what I could do tomorrow? That's what my therapist told me. Why do tonight what you could do tomorrow? Oh, wait a minute. I don't have to be wearing these stupid things anymore. Dang, they hurt. They hurt my ears. And I have to wear them when I have people that are in here live. Otherwise, the echo, the reverb, whatever you want to call it, will just go round and round, and the show will become very annoying. So this is the Sony. I actually like every single camera that's in here. So I can't play partiality. So I got the Panasonic S5 Mark II. And Randy got me a couple of lenses for that because I didn't have any lenses. I was using Canon lenses on the Panasonic S5 Mark II. Now I got not one, but two very high class lenses. The 50mm 1.8, a gem of a lens, and the 85mm 1.8. It's even gemmer. Is there such a word? Well, there is now. Going to make a t-shirt. It's a gemmer. I'm a gemmer. Okay. And then I have this camera, and Randy bought me the 11mm that I use to do the vlogging with that, and that would be one of the most useful cameras. Like Carlos he's going to go sit out under the stars and pretend he's happy, okay? Because he's going to psychoanalyze himself under the stars, and God forbid he should see a falling star. That's it. He will have had a revelation from God. I'm just teasing him. You guys know that, right? I do a lot of teasing. So, but he could take the teasing. So that's why I do it with him. There's other people that can't take the teasing that well. You gotta know your friends, okay? You're liable to blow one right out of the water and you didn't mean to, and then you gotta go apologize, and then you're gonna feel that big and that kind of stuff. But the only thing is that Carlos had mentioned was recording the fireside things. That would be what I would call long form recording. I don't know if the ZVE1 would handle that well. So he might be better off with with a camera body that actually has a fan built into it, which would be the S5 Mark II by Lumix or the FX30 by Sony. Then he could sit there and we can record the entire fireside chat, and he won't have to worry if it's steaming hot, 95 degrees, or if it's cold. I don't know what this camera would do, okay? Actually, I wanted to mention to both Jim and to Carlos, now it's like in the middle of the night, take your camera out and go out in the middle of the night and take a walk on your sidewalk or your backyard and put it in your computer. That's a whole new universe. I've done that. It's a whole new universe. That's why I like this camera so much, because of the dual ISO. I just set it over to, what is it, AI, auto intelligence or something. And boy, she handles it every time. I have not been disappointed with this camera one time. I almost was. About 3 weeks ago, it went out. And I thought, the camera actually overheated. The first time the ZVE1 actually overheated on me. What is that about? And you know what? It didn't overheat. The battery died. I had forgotten to plug in the USB into the wall. So it ran down the battery until it died. But I assigned it as overheating, and I corrected that little child. Like if you have children, you correct them thinking they did something wrong when they didn't. How do you handle that? You know what you need for that? You need a therapist, honestly. And I happen to have he's an in-house therapist right here. So that is what we've got going on. Let me shut down my interview mode. So the interview mode is over. And I had a good time tonight. You guys have a good time? What time is it? We are at 12:14 on a Saturday. So this is going to be the night of the resurrection service for the Greek Orthodox people. And I participated in that, and I enjoyed it. It's a beautiful service. The light comes out from the altar in the form of a candle, and then it's passed through the congregation. They turn off all the lights, and it's pitch black. So it's kind of like when Carlos goes out and sits at the campfire before the fire is lit, okay? And then they all sing that Jesus is risen from the dead, and that he has defeated, by death, he has defeated death, okay? It's a beautiful, beautiful song. So, guys, thank you for hanging out with me tonight. Those of you that are still here, you guys that are going to watch this on the rewind, why? Why would you watch such a long show? I guess you just need some company, which is what this is good for. Nobody's singing and dancing, and we're not walking around, so... You know, other than with Carlos trying to get me to walk off the end of the short pier. Take a long walk on the end of a short pier. Carlos is going like, a little longer. A few more steps, Peter. Oh! Oh, that's the step. That's the one I was looking for. So that's how I know he loves me. When he teases me, when he tries to kill me and beat me up and tell me I'm dumb, that he loves me. All right, guys. Thank you for being here. I enjoy you guys so much you have no idea. And this is not only therapeutic for you, I hope, but it's also therapeutic for me because we get to love on each other. There is no bad things going on here. You can forget about the news and the politics and all that. And we're all just looking for Jesus to come back. And let's just hope it's tonight, right? I wonder if I'm going to have a YouTube channel up in heaven. That would be very interesting. Who wants to speculate on that? Who wants to speculate? What a word, speculate. If you had to invent a word, could you do as good as speculate? Not sure. All right, and on that note, I am going to say good night. There will be no live shows Sunday night on this channel or on the big channel in case you guys cross-watch because I will not be home. I will not be here. I will be celebrating Easter with my family up in Fort Lauderdale. So I'm going to say good night. Thank you for being here. Love each and every one of you. Keep us in your prayers, and I'll keep you in my prayers. Good night. Bye-bye.